Here we go.
You are listening to Stick Drift, a bi-weekly show where we talk about the world of video games and the culture surrounding them. I'm Power Glover, and with me this week, and always, is...
Noah Rada.
If you like it or you hate it, please would you rate it, follow the rule of cool, and leave a like on the mic. You can find us on YouTube at StickDriftPodYT, on Twitter/X at StickDriftYT, and lastly on our Facebook page, Stick Drift. We're also on Spotify. Each of our content has its own channel, so for a specific podcast, please subscribe to each to make sure you get the newest audio content in your feed. Noah, how are we doing this week? We tired? I'm a little tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a couple weeks for me, honestly. So, but we're here. We're here to regale everybody with our Switch 2 pre-order tales, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was it for you? So, like, we were trying to. I guess the kind of preamble is we were trying to record Tape Stuck. We did Tape Stuck on Perfect Blue last Wednesday, and we were kind of like timing it. Like, yeah. Check it out, please. And we were timing it to kind of like pre-order stuff, and we were just like, yeah, we're gonna pause and then come back, so if you hear the break in that pod, it's for pre-orders. So but yeah, you ended up snagging one, right?
Yep. I got one, painstakingly got one through ended up getting it through Walmart, not the Mario Kart version, just the normal version of it. I don't really need that Mario Kart game. I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah. Okay. It's sad.
It's not
You're
my
changed,
thing.
man.
Not my thing.
Double Dash means nothing to you. I understand.
It's not Double Dash though. Like if it was Double Dash, then sure, yeah, I'd be all for it. But they don't have the two racers. Like the only ones doing Double Dash right now is some indie publisher with that Toho Skydrift game that I played not too long ago, and that was a good game. But I couldn't ever convince anyone else to play it. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just one of those things where I'm an optimist. I like to think of myself as an optimist, not a pessimist. Every Mario game that comes up, Mario Kart game, I go, you know what? What if this is as good as Double Dash? That's just my
That's so
maybe
fair,
we're just jaded.
Yeah. I'm just not interested in it. No. It's but for people who are, that's great. I mean, I don't think it looks bad. It just doesn't look like my type of game.
Yeah. No, you hate Nintendo.
I hate Nintendo. Boycott Nintendo. Your vote with your wallet, right? That's what they say.
We're picketing outside Bowser's Mansion.
Bowser's Mansion.
I'm sure he has a mansion.
He doesn't call it his castle, right? Or does he? You know?
That's a missed opportunity if he doesn't.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Everyone like shows up to Reggie Fils-Aimé's house because they missed the memo that he's not in charge of
Reggie, why would you do this? Why would you do this, Reggie? Come on.
Like he comes to the door, he's like, I was just thinking about the Bigfoot pizza from Pizza Hut. And you're like, yeah.
I gotta go back and start playing Animal Crossing on my Nintendo 3DS. That's what he says.
Yes. Yeah, they try to bust down his door. He says, my body is ready, and then pulls out brass knuckles.
Yeah. My body is Reggie.
My body is Reggie, yes.
Yeah.
But we got that Switch 2. We both have put some simoleons down on a Switch 2 for each of us. You got the regular. I got the bundle with Mario Kart. Pretty stoked about it. I like Mario Kart. Sure. It never hurt me.
No, it never hurt me. I don't prefer it. I'd rather play like a Mario Party.
Yeah. Oh, oof. Oh, hold on now. Let's not say anything we don't mean.
No, I mean it.
This bastard. Everyone, don't listen to this man's opinions. Every opinion he has is bad. Don't listen to it. Mario Party is for the sick and weak-willed. I think you are a bad person if you play Mario. Mario Party.
I mean, it's no Iggy's Wrecking Balls, but it's pretty good.
Okay, so you're just playing a freaking board game with Mario characters. At the end, they're just like, I don't know, we have a star for you because you went the most places. Fuck you. Like, that sucks.
Yeah, you went the most places. Yeah, good job. You went the most places. Yep.
You encountered Bowser the most.
Yeah.
Get out of here. What are we doing?
Yeah, you know.
I'd rather drink the highest grade bleach you have. That's what I would rather do than play any Mario Party, except for the one in the car because it's quicker turns. The less Mario Party you have to play in your life, the better.
It's crazy.
That's just the truth.
That Wii U one's actually pretty decent though.
Is it?
Yeah. It's one of the ones in a car, at least for the 5-player mode, because everyone's taking turns trying to get away from Bowser, basically, and then the 5th player is Bowser. It's pretty fun.
Nice. So it's games. Yeah, and they're all on the Switch now, except for the 2 everyone wants.
Yeah. There's 2. Well, there's 2 that don't really translate well to the Switch. It's like that Mario Party I just described and Nintendo Land. Those are the 2 that everyone likes to play whenever I have people over. You're
missing Devil's Third.
I don't even know what that is.
Third?
No.
What? You have to do some homework this week, my man.
No,
look up some Devil's Third. It's something. It's something.
Is it something?
It's something. It's not a good game. I think it's from Platinum. I think. Devil's Third. It's a Wii U console exclusive, I want to say. It's pretty horrendous, I hear. I don't think it came to anything else but the Wii U.
No, it's not Platinum. It's
Is it not Platinum? Okay.
It's
I could have sworn
Nintendo Software and Planning. Nintendo SPD. Yeah.
Nintendo made Devil's Third.
Yes.
I find this hard to believe. I don't think so. Nintendo is doing the thing where they're not crediting a developer, I bet. Because I don't think Nintendo would make Devil's Third. I'm just being real with you. They're cagey about stuff.
They've got Valhalla Game Studios as well.
That's what it is. It was Valhalla. Yeah. Nintendo likes to take credit for people's work and go it's not Grezzo. What does it matter? It's a Nintendo game. Yeah. We're not going to tell you the developer name.
Yeah, it is Grezzo. What do you mean?
Yeah. Grezzo's a good studio. They make some good stuff. They were just they got handed the reins for that Echoes game, and they're like, yeah, go make it. A brand new Zelda game.
I need to check the thing out.
It's really good. It's one of my favorite things I played last year. I was kind of taken aback how much I liked it.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome. But yeah, I wanted to talk about my Switch 2 buying experience. It was strangely positive for walking into a place. It was pretty awesome. So a little bit of background. I didn't get my pre-order in I wanted to because they're pay up front. I was I don't want to. So I wasn't gonna throw down $500 and not make sure it wasn't gonna. It was going to stay for me, because you had a problem where they charged back your credit card or something like that, and it was kind of a scary moment. I was I don't want this to happen to me, but I think you ended up getting one, which is great. I traded in my crappy Xbox Series S that I never use aside from playing retro stuff on it, and I was just am I gonna play this more than a Switch 2? Probably not. I'm gonna get rid of it. And they had this boost in trade-in credit just to put towards a Switch 2, and I was okay. I bought the thing for $300, and they gave me $250 in credit. I'm all right. I've had this thing for 4 or 5 years. Why not? Yeah. So put that, and I put a crappy DualSense controller along with it, and I've almost paid for half the console at this point. So on launch day, I'm going to bring my Switch, and I'm going to do the transfer, and they'll end up owing me money, I think, by the end of it. They keep this promotion up. And I also have the Animal Crossing Switch, which I think I mentioned on here. And maybe that will give me a couple more dineros. I don't know. But really, really positive experience. The guy that helped me out, super cool, super knowledgeable. He didn't push me to buy anything else. I did get a Pro Controller with it. But you got the regular Switch. I got the bundle, and I got the Pro Controller. So. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. How about you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Wanted to check out that Bravely Default remaster.
Yes. That's a day one for me.
They did some things to that, but we'll get into that when we're talking games, I guess.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Just something minor that's kind of annoying. But, yeah.
Does it have to do with the mouse, maybe?
No.
Okay. I didn't know if they did something.
Yeah, and then just playing Switch 1 games on there, even like recent ones like Xenoblade Chronicles X. I'm kind of waiting for that Switch 2 before I pick that game up and try that out. So
Same here. I as soon as I heard they had like that 60 frames patch like buried in the settings, I'm like, well, I'm waiting. You know, I'm not gonna play this thing at
that
30
game's
if I
gonna
don't have
be
to.
immaculate at 60, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, didn't it run pretty high at on a Wii U? I think it doesn't perform as well on a Switch, right? That's what I've heard.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I've heard that
Maybe
it's
I'm
at
wrong.
least visually better on the Switch than on the Wii U. Like they've redone all the
Okay.
graphics, like textures and things.
Oh yeah, I did see that comparison video. Yeah, I did see that.
Wii U didn't run
you know-
things great. I'd be surprised if it ran better on Wii U than Switch. The Wii U
Okay.
ran things worse than like the base Switch did. So
Yeah, I could be totally wrong. That's definitely the case, and that's fine. I want things to run better on newer hardware, like it should, right? But yeah, that'll be something I play day of too, because I've been waiting on that, and I love Xenoblade. Hopefully it'll get me to finish Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'm like almost halfway through that. Excuse me, and
good luck.
yeah, I'm just well, I know what to do now. It's just a matter of just doing it. I'm like deep in chapter 4 or 5, so it's not quite halfway, but I'm like pretty close to the halfway point. It's like 14 or 12 chapters or something. So
Nice.
but yeah, Switch 2s for the both of us. That's freaking, what is that? Almost a month away. Like it's April 30th is the time of this recording. We're pretty close. I'm pretty excited. Yeah, the games I am going to play day one for sure are both the Zelda games. Like that's going to happen. That Flying Fairy remaster that you mentioned for Bravely Default, and Mario Kart, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else comes out launch day.
Yakuza 0, that
Oh yeah.
special content. I think they're having like an English dub for the first time or something like that on there.
They had English dubs in I think 6, 7, and 8.
Yeah, but 0 never had one.
0 never did. I prefer the subs to the dub anyway.
Sure.
I don't think the English dubs are amazing in the new ones, but I digress. I think Yakuza 0 is the best game in the series. So if you were to get that, I think you would love it. And you've played a little bit of it too.
Yeah,
right?
I've played quite a bit of it. I've gotten
Yeah.
past like the first or second chapter of whatever his name is, Kiryu.
Kiryu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Kazuma Kiryu. That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. Not to sidetrack too much. I'm happy he's become like the Sega mascot besides Sonic now. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, Sonic's better.
Well, I'm not. This is not a quality judgment. If we're talking quality, Kiryu's got the cake there. But he's promoted like as a face of Sega. It's like the Yakuza games, Sonic games, and like Persona. That's like
And Knights.
Sega. Well, the less said about Knights, the better. We know this.
Am I wrong
Did
though?
a loop-de-loop. I got an A.
They slap Knights onto anything they can.
Knights can die in a fire. Knights is just so bad. So
Yeah,
bad.
they ripped off
okay.
Balin Wonderworld. That's the worst part.
You know what? Okay, this is my you know those circle graphs was like, hey, this is the circle of my experience with a thing. It's starts Knights hoping for something good to happen.
Yeah.
Realize Knight sucks,
Yeah.
quit, start again. And you're just
Yeah.
like every time I encounter that game, it's exactly like
Yeah,
that.
I've tried to play that game several times. I've tried to play it on like actual hardware and like, it has never turned out well for me.
It's not a good game. That's not a good game. Yoko Taro's in jail for his crimes and he'll stay there. So
Yeah,
that's good.
no Balin Wonderworld
Okay,
2, folks.
Yeah. Well, I've been putting a couple things out. They were sent to you, and we're going to put them up eventually for sure.
Yeah.
I reviewed 2 things. They're short, very short things. I mentioned Mullet Mad Jack and Little Gator Game the last podcast that we recorded. I have the Substacks up for those if anyone wants to read those. But yeah, the Dreaded Backlog podcast will be going up at some point whenever Noah gets a free second. And they're not long.
probably
So
will come up before this one, so this might.
Oh, okay, great.
Done. Yeah,
I mean, if you're hearing this, they're up,
yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen. I like to do these in chronological, so.
Oh, okay, yeah. I cover my eyes and send the thing, and I go, hopefully he puts it up. I don't know. Maybe
It'll get put
get
up eventually. Yeah, it gets put up. It always does.
Yeah. No, it always does. It always does for sure. But yeah, I've reviewed those two things, and I'm going to probably do another review, and it's probably going to be on Star Wars Outlaws because people missed out on this game big time.
I don't know anything about this game, so I'll definitely have to check that out because I don't know if.
I'll talk about it in the games portion.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll definitely talk in the games portion, but I do want to say just as a preamble, it's a great game. I think people slept on it. I really do.
Yeah.
But yeah, you finished something recently.
I did. Yeah.
It's a new game. It came out like 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah. No, it came out like last week. Like it just
last week.
out.
Yeah, it was like April 23rd or 4th. I saw on Steam.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
That's a brand new game.
Yes.
Yeah.
I caught it as soon as it went up. I was just looking at the Steam front page. I'm like, oh yeah, this looks interesting, and it's just. Yeah. I saw the publisher. I'm like, oh yeah, I like that publisher. Sure, we'll go with this.
Yeah, so I messed up in our doc because I forgot that it was a new game, so I put it in odds and ends. But it's a brand new game, so I want to hear what you think about Doll's Nest.
Yeah, let's get into it. So, Doll's Nest.
Let's do it.
It's published by and developed by Nitro Plus. If you don't know Nitro Plus, they've worked on a lot of visual novels. That's like all they do is visual novels. I don't think they've done anything besides visual novels, and so I'm like. The visual novel studio put out a Armored Core like? Sure, okay. Yeah, I'm like $20? Yeah, well let's do this. I mean, if it's crap, I'll just refund it, right? And so I start playing this thing and I'm like, oh, okay, this is, this feels good to play, the assets aren't like the most high quality. The enemies are a bit repetitive, but the actual movement and the customization options and everything else is about what you'd expect from a Armored Core type of game. And as far as the actual loop of the game, it's really close to like a I think it would be best to compare it to Demon Souls because it you have like once you're through like the first area, you have a central hub that leads to 3 different like main areas to play through, and you go to like one boss in an area and then you get blocked, then you go to the first boss in the next area, then you get blocked, then you go to the first boss in the next area, then you get blocked. Then once you do that, then you unlock the second boss, get blocked again on each of those, and you get third boss. Well, actually, you go back to the first area, and then you go like down, and then you do a boss there, and then that unlocks the last areas, and then so it's
It's like a hub and spoke sort of system. Right?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. Just like a Demon Souls. So, and that's kind of the actual gameplay as well, because you have sort of like a bonfire in this like tree system, and you can teleport to other trees. But there's very sparse. Like there's basically one tree per level, right? So like one section of an area before from the start of it to a boss will have a tree, and then within that area there's different shortcuts you can get, usually like teleporters that'll teleport you back to that tree so you can heal up, or vice versa. You can, if you die, then you can use those teleporters to get back and not lose as much progress, basically, in the area.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But, this game, that's kind of the gameplay loop. It's Armored Core meets Demon Souls meets Code Vein. It's got the like anime girls
Yeah.
like Code Vein, but it doesn't really go as hard into it as Code Vein does. I'd say it's definitely not very. I guess it's not as in your face as Code Vein is with that sort of thing. So
Not very fan servicey.
yeah,
That's good.
no, not at all. I don't think there was anything that struck me as fan servicey. It I quite liked it.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it, and I think it's vastly underplayed. Like there's like maybe like 3 guides on Steam right now for this game. Like I don't think hardly anyone's playing this game.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's talking about this game, and it's a really solid experience. Took me about 18 hours to complete my first run of it, and that's a 18 hours for $20. That's a pretty good conversion rate. And I plan to go back to this thing and do another ending. Yeah, it's what I imagined the evolution of Armored Core would be after the success of the Souls series. I like what they did with Armored Core 6 quite a bit, but as a Souls player first, that's what I imagine Armored Core was going to be. And so after playing this game, I'm like, yeah, this is exactly what in my head I was thinking an Armored Core game would be like post Souls.
Gotcha.
So I'm glad this game exists to like play out that sort of, what if scenario for me. Yeah.
I saw it had like, when I looked yesterday, it had a few hundred reviews, maybe. Yeah, it's not like everything. It's like mostly positive, pretty positive. I saw some video of it just on the Steam page, and it's like you said, it looks like Armored Core. But you mentioned it was highly customizable when you texted me about it.
Yep. Yeah, you can not only can you customize your your mecha like in an Armored Core, but you can also customize your humanoid, like your android girl or whatever. And in these sort of things, I just go with the tried and true. I just build Hatsune Miku. It's just what I do. So I just built Hatsune Miku. I can do that in pretty much any character creator. It's not that hard. Not that complex of a character to build. So I just ran around with Hatsune Miku, calling her Mechsune Miku, and just was tearing through stuff. It was pretty fun. I had a real lightweight build. I like playing these games with like a super lightweight like glass cannon sort of build.
Sure.
So I was running towards the end of the game. I was typically running a submachine gun and a sniper rifle, so that I had kind of a weapon for any sort of range of engagement. So
Gotcha.
And for boss battles, I'd swap the sniper for this katana that's like really powerful. It's like a hidden weapon that I stumbled upon. So yeah, that was pretty cool. It just shreds most bosses. The final boss, I ended up just using my submachine gun for the most part. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I didn't even. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask how the music was, but finish your thought.
Yeah, no, the music's really solid. Especially like the boss battle themes. It's very it got like an eerie sort of soundtrack, right? Because that's kind of the vibe the game's going for, is like sort of like an eerie, alternate life sort of vibe. And so like all of like the like NPCs you encounter are all like machine girls like you, and so it's a pretty eerie game, and lore wise it's pretty eerie as well. And but yeah, no, my I didn't really experiment with anything past lightweight because I was just enjoying my time with my lightweight build so much. But there are options for medium weight. There's a lot of options for medium weight. I'd imagine that's what they expect most players to run through the game with, is a medium weight build, giving you sort of the best of having good like stability and armor class, but also being able to be fairly mobile. And then there's plenty of heavyweight options as well, like your quads, your tank treads. It's literally just ripped from Armored Core. Not a bad thing. Like, that's tried and true, so... but from what I did mess with those parts, they seemed like they were straight out of Armored Core, so...
Gotcha, yeah.
But, there was some unique, like, mobility units as well. Like, they had, like, a rocket mobility unit. They had, like, a wheeled mobility unit. I didn't mess with those too much. I was mostly running around with my flying mobility unit, so I was kind of just hovering over the ground, because that felt like... That had, like, the most, like, the best handling for me, and the best, like, max speed for me. I was getting close to, like, 100 kilometers an hour with my, like, max speed, so I was kind of pushing the game to as fast as I could possibly go, because I wanted to see just how fast I could get this engine to run. So
yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, again, the game name is Doll's Nest. I feel like I don't do that enough, where we're talking after a while, and then I'm like, oh, maybe someone like missed it. They don't know what we're talking about now.
Yeah, check out Doll's Nest for sure. Maybe try out the shoulder weapons and let us know in the comments how those are, because I didn't check those out at all. I was only running my my 2 allotted primary weapons, because I didn't want to sacrifice any of my speed.
Sure, yeah, that sounds really cool. It made me interested in it for sure. I feel like I can't play it though until I were to finish any Armored Core game. It'd probably be 6.
Yeah, check out 6 for sure. That game is so fantastic. It's a beautiful game. It's pinnacle of FromSoft gaming for sure. Yeah.
I played a fair amount of it, about 6 to 10 hours of it.
I will say, in a world of FromSoft constantly announcing these live service sort of games, having a game that feels like a FromSoft single-player focused game felt really good. It's not a FromSoft game. It's Nitro Plus, the VN developer. But they put out something that feels like a nice, short, self-contained FromSoft experience, and that was really important to me. That's why this game is so important to me.
Yeah, and you mentioned you might want to review it in totality, which would be really nice.
Yeah, I definitely want to maybe even do one more playthrough before I do that. But yeah, I'd love to do a full Final Destination review on that, so look out for that.
Perfect. Awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I guess if there's one thing in kind of wrapping up Doll's Nest at least, what's the hook of this game that got you to play through it all the way? Is it like the customization? Is it the setting? Like, if someone's going to pick up this game, what would you tell them was your favorite part? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say you need to experiment and find what you enjoy. Don't be afraid to experiment either. Even, like, don't be afraid to use your weapon upgrades and your frame upgrades, because the game throws them at you like candy. And by the time you get to the end, you can buy as many of the max... Even before you get to the end, you can buy as many of the max upgrade item as you possibly could need. So you will not use up your resources and get stuck. I don't think that'll happen. This game isn't designed to make you get stuck. The game is designed for you to experiment and to find weaknesses of bosses and enemies and areas and exploit those to make the game as easy or as difficult as you would like. That's how this game is designed.
Well, you're definitely speaking my language, because that's the thing I love the most. And like, like for instance, the game that came out about 10 years ago, Mad Max, you could modify your vehicle. and put upgrades on it, min max it. Like I love being able to customize vehicles, mechs, whatever.
Yep.
Like you saying that makes me excited to check it out. Hopefully one day. I love having the control to modify things like that at like a minute level, you know.
Yeah, definitely don't give it up till you get through that first area though, and like get to the hub world, because then that like opens up a ton of options for you, and as far as like customization and even character customization, and it also opens up like the 3 different areas I was talking about. So once you like have those 3 areas, you can just kind of like, if one area doesn't feel right for you at that current time, you can just move to a different area and try tackling that area. And so just don't run yourself into a wall. Just
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sweet. So yeah, Doll's Nest. You said you're probably gonna play through it again before you review it.
I think so.
But yeah, that'll be a nice thorough review. Very good. That's exciting. That's a quick finish. I mean, 18 hours. That's anybody could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I enjoyed every moment of it. So.
Yeah, for sure. I've been looking forward to you talking about that since you told me. I was like, oh, this looks sick. Yeah, most of my stuff has been playing emulation stuff, but I did start 2 new games this week because since I sold my Xbox, not because I couldn't afford a Switch 2 or whatever. I didn't need a Series S.
He hates Microsoft.
Because I'm probably going to. Yeah, that's the answer. I'm probably going to build a PC or buy one very, very soon, and I'm just like, I'll play everything through there. I don't need an Xbox anymore.
He's gonna get
I'm
a
kind
Linux
of over
PC.
It. Yes, you nailed it. How did you know? The Penguin is my friend.
He hates Microsoft so much,
Yeah. The guy that was the Microsoft champion was an idiot. Back in the day. Now I just don't care. I'm so agnostic about what I play and where I play it. I primarily play PlayStation, but I just was like, since I kicked my Xbox to the curb, and it felt like a half step sort of thing. Like I could have gotten a Series X years ago, but I was like, I don't know if this generation is going to pan out, so I'm going to just get an S, and it was like $200 cheaper. But it was a 1080p console, digital only, and some things on Game Pass just didn't run amazing on there. I feel like every time I was playing a new game, I was compromising it. Not playing it to the best the best version I could. So I got rid of that, and I'm obviously put down South of Midnight. I put another hour into it. I do like that game. I'll just play it either on PC or when it gets ported. I'm not going to get an Xbox probably ever again. Like, I'm just going to be real with you. There's no need for it. And they really don't want you to buy one. They really don't want you to buy one. At least one of these. They'll probably make a new SKU for you and make it a console PC sort of thing. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But anyway, it dropped South of Midnight. I've talked about that last week. I started 2 new games that kind of came out within the same week. The first one is Oblivion. I started Oblivion Remastered. Yeah. And I also have been playing a lot of Clair Obscur Expedition 33. So I'll start with Oblivion first because I didn't play as much of that. But my history with Elder Scrolls lies directly in just Skyrim. Yeah. I just played a lot of Skyrim. Never was a Morrowind person. I tried Oblivion before Skyrim came out. Couldn't get into it for one reason or another. It was really like I had kind of a crappy first generation Xbox, and it was just not running things well. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to play Oblivion, it sounds like. But with Skyrim, I also got a newer Xbox, and I just used that for everything. So yeah, my main exposure to Bethesda's Elder Scrolls series is purely in Skyrim. I know almost nothing about Oblivion aside from the story's better, the quests are better, the world is not as complex, and the caves and the different alcoves you go into aren't as like well designed as Skyrim's. But everything like content wise is better written, better directed, better acted, sort of thing. So this game was a surprise. It was a shadow drop. Well, it wasn't a surprise. We'll put it this way. It's one of the worst kept secrets in gaming media these days. Like, people knew for years this thing was coming out. Like, for instance, there's that NVIDIA leak that happened about 4 or 5 years ago, where they were talking about like Persona 6, I want to say, or Persona. It was Persona 3 Reload they were talking about, and Final Fantasy 9 remake, and they were talking about Final Fantasy Tactics, and this was one of the games on the docket was Oblivion Remastered, and it's been kind of like a bad secret forever, and Microsoft was cagey about it when asked, and they're like, we have no updates for any Elder Scrolls anything, and then just randomly they're like, oh, check in on this day and you'll see what's up with Oblivion. And people were like, "Whoa, we already knew about this, but okay." Shadow drop same day, $50. It's not done by Bethesda. It's in partnership with Virtuous, who is doing the Metal Gear Solid Delta remake for Metal Gear Solid 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually wanting to check that out because I've never played through that game, so I've been waiting for that Delta remake.
Sure. Yeah. I'm like halfway through 3. I'll probably finish it and then compare it to Delta when it comes out in October or September. It's later this year, no matter what. But Virtuous is doing that. And they also did the Batman Arkham, Return to Arkham remasters. They're known for being a remaster, remake, port house sort of thing. Yeah. This is what they're known for. They're not like the highest quality, developer in this regard. Like they're not like a blue chip prospect like a Blue Point or something, but they're very good. Their work is very well regarded for the most part. There's some hinky things about their ports and stuff, but anyway, this game seems like they did a lot of work on it. It says the title of this game is literally The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, and from what I could tell, like the bones of Oblivion are there, but they remade like a lot of it. Like they all new models, like new animations, new like physics. Like the bones are definitely there. Like you can tell the scripting is very Oblivion 360 like. Yeah. But like I don't know, the skin that's setting on the skeleton is completely new. It feels more like a remake in a lot of ways. They even added dialogue. Like they did a lot to this thing that makes it not just a remaster. Because if it's a remaster, it's a facelift, right? Yeah. Maybe they don't want to invoke people's anger by saying, "Hey, we remade your favorite game potentially." They could be that. I don't know. But anyway, it came out. Shadow drop $50. I started it yesterday for the first time, and whoa, it was one of those things where I was just like, "Okay, basically a new Elder Scrolls is out, and that's insane." Like, it's not really true. It's not really true. It's Oblivion again. But it's been almost 20 years since Oblivion.
It's not Skyrim again.
And it's not Skyrim again. They know how to make a different video game. Good for them. Yeah, but it's the same video game of another one. Yeah. I love Skyrim to death. It's one of my favorite games ever. Very fond memories of that game. But it captured that little feeling I got from playing that. I was like, oh no, I could be playing a lot of this game. So I had to. It's like, I grew up on those Bethesda RPGs, Fallout 3, New Vegas, Skyrim, of course, like I said. I grew up on that stuff, So, like, having a old game be brought back new in this sort of format that I just love, that's that sort of Bethesda look and feel. It was just, I was like, if I had nothing else, if we didn't have this show, I would be only playing this. Genuinely.
Yeah, I know. I know that feeling. There's just a lot of games where I'm like, well, I'll get into stuff in odds and ends, and I'm like, I can't get too much into this, otherwise I won't play other things for the show, so trying to play more games for the show.
For sure. I mean, honestly, the bulk of me playing this game is going to be probably the end of this year, where we're catching up with everything, and I'm going to be putting a ton of time in this thing. It's just, it feels great. It looks really nice. I'm playing on a PS5. The one thing I would say is a drawback is it doesn't run very well. It feels like it needs some patches for the outside.
A Bethesda game needing patches is no way.
I know. Well, honestly, like everything runs like it should when it comes to physics. Like it's just frame rate. It's really just frame rate. It feels like it needs to be tweaked slightly. It's not like broken or anything. It feels like it's together. Like the thing about like those old games, Skyrim or whatever, you risk like crashing your console in the 360 era if you opened a door in Skyrim. You know what I mean? Like it's not like that anymore.
Okay.
I remember having, yeah, exactly. I remember gritting my teeth every time I opened a door in Skyrim because I'm like, is this gonna crash? Because it would like hold for too long. And yeah, it's not that problem anymore. The game runs as intended as far as content goes, but yeah, it just needs a couple more patches to kind of iron it out. But yeah, it's just one of these games where I just started it and I was immediately like, oh my god, I'm going to be just diving into this game at some point.
Yeah, I wonder if I need to check out this game because I was never a huge Skyrim fan, but maybe I'd like the setting of Oblivion a bit better. Not huge into like Nordic stuff per se, so like Nordic.
Yeah, this is more. This is more very like traditional medieval, very like Anglo-Saxon flavor sort of thing. Sword and board, you know.
Yeah, they've got like the Oblivion gates too, and I hear that people don't really typically like the Oblivion Gate content.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it is just like, okay, so I guess I started the story, right? So I did my first Oblivion Gate. I see why people don't like them.
Are they just on rails? Is that why people don't like it?
Kind of. It's like you're just killing enemies to unlock this sort of thing and then break the gate. It feels like very easy content that you just. It's one of those things like you get in front of it and you're like, okay, I know what I have to do. I just need to do it. And it's just not challenging or anything. Or you don't get any story out of it. It's like you're just playing it, you know?
Okay.
It's just not the most enthralling thing in the world, especially compared to their quests and their story, which is great.
That's what people like about Oblivion is the quests and the story. So.
Yeah, the main story is really good so far. But it's like it's all the guild quests that people especially like in this. Like they compared it specifically to just people in the community have compared it to Skyrim directly, and most people prefer Oblivion's quest lines. That's just what most people think. Like the Thieves quest line, the Assassin's Guild I hear is incredible in this game. Yeah. There's just like a lot of stuff that they compare and go like they did it right the first time, you know. Yeah. And some people even compare Morrowind to Oblivion. They're like, that game was the best game they ever made. So it's really a taste thing, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm like an hour and a half in. I love it so far. I adore it. It's so great. It's one of those things I'm like, ooh, you're a time suck, and I know I'm going to play so much of you. I'm going to just set you aside for a little bit and kind of pick away at you as I get free time. But yeah, I think you should check it out personally. I know a couple people that are playing it.
Did you ever hear about Sky Oblivion? Okay.
Yes, I did.
So that's kind of yeah. I was kind of waiting for Sky Oblivion to finish before checking out Oblivion, but I'm pretty sure that Bethesda actually like recognized their efforts and gave them game keys for Oblivion Remastered. So
I really like that. It reminds they've always been really tight with their community as far as modding goes. And they're very unselfish with resources for the most part. It's like I see it as like Sega like applauding people that make Sonic fan games as compared to Nintendo that like punishes people that does stuff like that. They're on the good end of it. You know, I would say Bethesda is, and they appreciate their community.
Yeah, Nintendo sucks about that. That's for sure.
They really do. I mean, Sega loves their fan games so much they hire people that work on them. You know.
Yeah, and if somebody makes like a mod or something for a Sega game, or like makes a like PC port, as far as I know, there's been no action to go after that Sonic Unleashed PC port. So. Oh
yeah, I think they're probably just fine with that thing being as is.
Yeah.
I mean, why not just make
a game anyways? So.
Exactly, why not just make it run better? You know.
Yeah.
I think they're not going to punish those people, which is good. Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty sure like people in these scenes have gotten jobs from stuff like this, especially in the Bethesda realm. I'm pretty sure there has been some people that have gotten jobs from just making stuff with their assets. which is cool because it's basically like, hey, you want a job? Like, we want you to do that same thing, but for us, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I know that for sure
yeah.
that Sega and Bethesda have both done that sort of thing to where they take people from the community and hire them, which that should be the way it is, to be honest.
I agree. I agree. I mean, it's kind of like it's like a proof of concept for like what you're capable of,
Yeah.
sort of thing. It can kind of cut both ways though, depending on who you're dealing with. Like for instance, you're never going to get a job at Nintendo doing that stuff. You know.
You should. You should get a job at Nintendo
I think you
doing
should
that stuff.
personally. Yeah. Yeah. Like if
It's
you're making
like
Kaizo
that.
Mario stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember those memes that were like, Nintendo, hire this man, and it was like the hyper realistic Mario or something. Like, gosh, those are so
Just
stupid.
Unreal Engine 5 Mario,
Yeah.
and it's the worst thing you've ever seen.
People are like, hire this man. It's like, no, don't. We don't want Mario to look like that.
No. It's already weird enough in like the Mario movie where you can see his like hair follicles and you're like, this is too much.
Yeah.
I've had a problem with that as a as kind of like a nonsense detour where like animated movies, they've gotten better about being more diverse with like Puss in Boots and the Spider-Verse movies, but like this whole like, I don't know, obsession on realism, but with like a cartoony art style, like the Disneyification of it, where we're like, we have cartoony faces, but the hair is like real as hell, and you're like, this is dumb. Like it's a cartoon, you know. It's this obsession with like detail that really
I loved
is weird
that
for me.
that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, that second one. I never watched the first one, but that second one was great. It's fantastic.
Yeah, you should watch that first one.
I know I should. I just have never gotten around to it. I don't have anyone like that's been like, Noah, we're sitting down and watching this. So I haven't had any excuse
Noah,
to.
we're gonna go sit down and watch that. By the way,
I'd love to. I'd love to.
I'll add that to our tape stack list. That first one's excellent. I prefer that first one to the second one. But anyway,
I like that second one quite a bit.
yeah, it's great. It's a great movie. Anyway, Oblivion, great game. I am going to sink too many hours in this game once like the landscape of video games have kind of come to in the calendar this year. Yeah, it's something I'll be coming back to throughout the year for sure. But yeah, I saw that piece of news on Sky Oblivion. That's really cool.
Yep.
Super, super cool. Yeah, and before we head to odds and ends, like I said, I started Expedition 33. And I think I am 2.5 hours into this game. I think it is the greatest turn-based system ever.
Oh, wow.
Like, the battle system is... Dude, it's unbelievable. Like, I can't believe how good it is.
I don't know if
and
anything can beat Metaphor.
Metaphor's pretty good. Metaphor's pretty good. But this does stuff with parrying and dodging and resource use that is just like... It's so... Like, you have to stay locked in. So let me kind of preamble here. So Clair, Obscur, Expedition 33. It is... It's a new game from a first-time studio, first-time game, everything. Like, this is a crew of around 30 people in France making this game. They're called Sandfall Interactive. They are being published by Kepler, who have done things like Chia and a couple other small indie games. They've become kind of like this this indie label, very Annapurna-like, where they're fostering and helping fund really high-quality indie games, right? Kepler Interactive anyway. But Expedition 33 it's basically like an RPG love letter for these people, where they I don't know how long they spent developing this game, like how many years. It feels like a 4 or 5 year game. Most of these people, at least the main developers, are ex Ubisoft folks, and they went off to make their own studio and make this game. And it is stylistically, mechanically so distinct and interesting. It's like having just played Metaphor, I'm just shocked that we have a game that feels at that quality level already.
Yeah.
The story is immediately gripping. The premise is that there is this deity in the distance of this kind of crumbling, I don't know, metropolitan French aristocracy that is basically erasing timelines. So every year that counts down, the paintress is the deity's name, will write down an age of the next people that will disappear from the mortal coil. So, for instance, the game starts with 34 out in the distance. You see it. She's like hanging over it. You can see it across this kind of like sea. And every year at the same time, the year gets erased, and then 33, 32, all the way down. And everybody that's 34 years of age, 33, whatever is written on that stone slab is erased from existence. It's like it's a really interesting premise. I don't even understand who the paintress is. It's very vague about any intentions or anything, but you find yourselves in the shoes of this party that every year a timeline is erased, a generation is erased. They send out a party to go venture across the lake or ocean or whatever and kill the paintress to stop the cycle from continuing, right? And the main character, as far as I can tell, is named Gustav, and there's a couple others that I've seen: Luna, Mael, Seal. They're like a task force to go kill this paintress lady. Like, I'm about 2.5 hours into this thing. The story is, it made me cry to start. Like, the beginning of this game is heart wrenching, with the 34s leaving the world, and the kind of segue into the kind of like mysterious land beyond the sea is really gripping and insane. What they encounter there, I think it's the beginning of a very, very, very special game. And it's already gotten high marks from pretty much everybody. Like, it's got a crazy high user rating and Metacritic rating already. It's like a 92 or something for first time studio on Metacritic, which is one of the best games already, ever. It's up there with like Ocarina of Time, Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 3, whatever. Like, it's up there already. People adore this game. And I just, every time I touch it, I'm like, this thing is just so special, It's so sharp too. It's an Unreal Engine 5. It's a turn-based game, like I mentioned, very metaphor-like, where there are, unique ways to get turns back. It's not a press turn system like Persona is, but you're able to kind of harness resources dependent on how skilled you are at completing a combat encounter. So, for instance, when you encounter enemies, you have a raft of skills, kind of. There's a skill button that shows up to 6 skills that you get throughout the game. You can kind of add and subtract at will, very metaphor-like with the archetype system. You have these things called pictos that are like these abilities that stack in 3s, that if you successfully beat 3 battles with a picto, you earn it for the rest of your team. And it's basically like a buff or a special add to your move set. So, for instance, you get like this move early on called Dodger, and every time you dodge, you get 1 extra action point every time you dodge effectively. And if you do that well, you unlock it for your whole team, and you can just put it wherever, which is really cool. It's like a really interesting skill slot system. It's like kind of like a movement materia, I guess. It feels like that. But the most interesting part about this game, for sure, is the parry and dodge mechanics. It's very active. It's like Mario, Super Mario, Paper Mario. It feels very active like that, where there's quick time button presses to kind of maximize damage. You have to always be prepared for enemies attacking you or dodging attacks. If you have Dodger on, for instance, and you dodge an attack, you'll get AP to add to like your pool of AP to kind of use as a resource for bigger attacks, for instance. It's like a mana pool, pretty much. There's no magic points. It's like action points governing big attacks, But if you parry effectively and correctively and like decisively, you can do these like counter strings where, like, if you block every single counter in a combat string, you'll do this like retaliation attack that can even kill opponents if you're doing it correctly. It's just a really awesome give and take. It feels like a turn-based Sekiro or something. It's beautiful, man. I really like how real time it feels. There's also a free aim for different attacks. You can kind of like it becomes a shooter at some point too, where you're kind of aiming and shooting where you need to go. It reminds me of like Valkyria Chronicles that way, where you're basically running up to where you need to in Valkyria Chronicles and you're shooting, which is kind of cool. This feels very similar to that. But the story is fantastic. The performances are awesome. The main character, Gustav, is voiced by Charlie Cox, who's Daredevil in the Marvel stuff, which is really cool. It's got Shadowheart from Baldur's Gate, Andy Serkis, who's Gollum in the Lord of the Rings movies. He's in this game. It's just, it kind of came out of nowhere. Like it sold 1 million copies for the company already, and the word of mouth has set the game on fire. Even with Oblivion coming out, like it's not cannibalizing its sales. It seems like one of these sleeping dogs, man, where it's just going to sell forever and be an awesome game. I love this game so far. I'm going to finish this game for sure. It's only 20 to 35 hours. Definitely doable. So love Expedition 33.
Nice. Yeah, I think there was I'll probably have to check this out at some point. I don't know when I'll get
It's a cheap game too, also $50. So a lot of bang for your buck.
I'm guessing it's on Steam. It's surely on Steam.
It is. It's on sale on Steam actually. It's like $5 off. So definitely worth your time, worth your money. I think it's definitely worth it.
The other thing I was gonna point out is that so there was the Clair Obscura and Oblivion, and then also on Switch there was the 100 Line Last Defense Academy by 2Kyo Games, the people that did like I do know that like the creator of like Danganronpa and Zero Escape was involved with this.
I've heard of this game and I knew he was involved too. Yeah, that's cool.
So for people who are into that also released around the same time, and I guess the like Clair Obscure like Twitter page was also like, hey, you should check out this game because it released at like the exact same time as our game. So there was like 3 RPGs, big RPGs that dropped at around the same time. Meanwhile, I'm like looking through the Steam thing. I'm like, oh, Doll's Nest. That's what I'll play. All these big games are releasing. Doll's Nest.
Yeah. As far as I hear, 100 Line's pretty good though too. So I mean, anywhere you look, it's going to be good. Good for you. I mean, this year already has been insane, man. It's been insane.
Yeah.
It's been
another
really
good year
really
for
good.
Games. It only gets better.
Yeah,
that's just how
it's
works.
only going to get better.
Yep.
Because by the time we record again, I will be playing Doom: The Dark Ages, which I'm stoked about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's awesome.
Gaming doesn't get worse.
Play Expedition 33.
Yeah.
Yeah, play Expedition 33. It's definitely worth your time, and it's cheap. So, yeah, that's all my new games. Did you play anything new, or do you want to just jump into odds and ends?
I can't think of any other
no brand new releases or anything.
Releases that I've checked out. I'm
sure.
I'm usually a bit slow on the uptake. The like Doll's Nest was just like a curiosity that I ended up obsessing over. So.
Well, I mean, we got all year to play new stuff, Like as long as we get a good sample of it for Game of the Year, I'm happy about it. And there's always stuff coming out. So. Yeah, I'm looking at your CRT back there.
Yeah.
Up for a while, and it's pretty awesome. Talk to me about some Armored Core to start off odds and ends. That looks sick. I love what's happening on that screen. There's like weapons rotating and adding to a mech and all kinds of meters. Talk to me about what you've been playing. This looks sick.
That's like the classic like PS1 thing, right? You want your rotating like 3D models, right?
Yeah.
It's not a classic game. It's not a classic PS1 game if you don't have your rotating 3D model of like whatever you're looking at, Even the PS2 had that, like for a lot of games, like you'd select something and it's like, oh, look at the 3D rotating model of like a cell phone or something,
Yeah.
And
I know what you mean.
Yeah, that's just the way to do menus. You got to have your 3D rotating models in the menus. Bonus points if you can actually like spin it yourself or like
True.
rotate it yourself. Like, that's fun.
If you can't grab Super Mario his nose, then what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Like, if you can't make him like the most deranged and deformed, like, shape imaginable, then
Every time this is another sidetrack. Every time one of us looks busted or we woke up on the wrong side of the bed, my wife and I, we will sing the Notre Dame song, the Hunchback of Notre Dame song, where he goes, "I am deformed," and she will go, "You're deformed, and I am ugly. You are ugly." Reminds me of that.
That's fun.
Sorry, continue.
But yeah, Armored Core PlayStation 1, like the original one. Yeah, I've got it, and I've had it for a while, and I've kind of been picking at it, and
yeah.
I was trying to, I did the thing that I do in these games, right, where I try too hard to grind something out, and then I get really burnt out on it. This happened to me in Final Fantasy VI. I still got to return to that game. I spent way too much time grinding in that game, not for levels, mind you, just for the like magic. I didn't grind like a single level in that game, so I might be underleveled. I don't know. Yeah, I had a weird spot with that game. I really want to return to that game though when I get like the chance, but because I love what I played of it. But as for Armored Core, I was trying to play it on easy mode essentially, right? Because I read somewhere that you need to basically game over a certain number of times, like 5 different times, in order to like play on max easy mode or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I want to play this game on easy mode. I'm not a very, skilled gamer. I'm just an average gamer, so I'm just going to play this on easy mode. And
don't listen to him. He's lying. He's a very skilled gamer. Don't listen.
But yeah, somewhere in that grind, I got to like game over 3 or something like that, and I just lost all interest in grinding game overs, and because it's hard to game over in the game, and so I just dropped the game for a while, and then I played through Doll's Nest, and I'm like, you know what? This is making me want to play through Armored Core, like the Armored Core, and so I just went ahead and just started a brand new file and just started. So I wanted a guide to where it would just like tell me where the like hidden weapon parts are, right? Because I don't have time to scour all the maps to try and find all these little parts. I don't even know what missions have hidden parts to begin with. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to use a guide for that. Well, I found the funniest guide. It's one of those guides that it's an old guide because they'll say things like, okay, so right at the beginning of the guide, right, they're talking about the tutorial. They're like, yeah, the game's going to drop you in and you're going to fight some robots, and that's just how the tutorial for Armored Core 1 works. It's awesome. They just drop you in, they give you a message, they're like, hey, you want to be a raven? You got to do this. They drop you in, don't tell you the controls, don't tell you anything. You just got to go. You just got to go for it. You got to figure it out. And so that's what I've always done whenever I come back to this game. I just kind of use that as like a testing ground to get a feel for my controls. And but this guide I was using, they said basically if you can't finish this first tutorial mission, you need to break your game disc. It's one of those guides.
Nice.
This game is not for you. Break your game disc. This is a hard game for real gamers. It was one of those sort
of... babies allowed.
No babies allowed. Yeah. Yeah, I love that so much. I love that, like, super toxic, like, gamer, like...
It's like... Yeah, it's like the poster for Daikatana where you're gonna be John Romero's bitch. You're like, yeah I am.
Yeah, I am. No, it's funny how like the community thinks like about these games as like hardcore games for hardcore gamers. It's like, no, not really. They're customizable mechs. Like, customizable means that you can customize your difficulty. Dark Souls is also a customizable game. You can customize your difficulty by choosing different weapons. Magic makes the game easier, and like dexterity makes the game harder. That's just how that kind of thing works. And so FromSoft is just, they're just the champions at like having difficulty through their systems, and they're cryptic at times. Sure, I get that. But they rely on their community to convey that, like, hey, you're struggling here. Have you tried XYZ, And I think that's part of what FromSoft wants their community to do, right? They want people to talk about their games and work through them, because that's like that, that's sort of a schoolyard, discussion that, like, a lot of, I bet a lot of FromSoft employees grew up with, is like, I was stuck here on, Dragon Quest, or I was stuck here on Final Fantasy, and they talked to their friends and things like that, and work through them. And so I think that's a good thing for games to be a bit, cryptic at times, like have accessible systems and be accessible, but also have people rely on each other for the information. And now we've got the internet. I mean, it's so easy to just if you are stuck somewhere, you can just look up what the best way through is. But anyways,
it's jolly cooperation. For sure.
So, but Armored Core. So it's fun. It feels like a I don't know. It feels like a PlayStation 2 game on the PlayStation 1. Like it feels like a good game. Like it doesn't feel aged, doesn't feel dated.
Nice.
Feels like a solid 3D experience. The load times are like non-existent. I'm playing it on hardware, on disc, on my PlayStation 1, and like the load times are barely noticeable. It's a really well designed like game. The saving is quick, loading's quick, and I mean it's easy to just like get into a mission, figure out like, oh, this mech isn't working for me. I'm gonna have to change X, Y, and Z parts for this mission. Then you just load, back your save, and you can. The real nice thing about Armored Core, right? This is what stops this game essentially from being a hardcore game for only hardcore gamers. Is that you can buy parts in the shop, or you can get parts from missions, or you can have your parts that that your default mech comes with, and you can sell those parts to the shop. All of those parts, any of those parts, and they always sell for the same amount as you buy them for, and vice versa.
Oh, that's huge.
Yes. So the game actively encourages you. There's no upgrade system in the game. All of your upgrades are just changing out your mech parts. So the game actively encourages you to just change out your mech parts if you're stuck on a part, or try a different mission, because there's always multiple missions available at a time. So if one mission's not working out for you, just try a different mission. The simulation aspect of the game that the hardcore crowd really gets into is mainly due to the fact that you have to pay for ammunition costs and repair costs on your Armored Core.
Wow.
And so those two things, combined with the fact that you can fail missions to the point where if you fail a mission, usually you can't repeat a mission after you fail it.
Wow.
But that's what the game's built-in save load features for, is, you can just load back your save if you fail a mission, or if you take too much damage, or if you use too much ammunition, and you can try it again. I had lots of missions to where I'd get through a mission, I'm like, I didn't do that mission too well, but now that I've done it, I can run through it better and get a better, I can get more credits out of the mission, right? because that's really your goal, is to get as many credits as possible, so you have as many options for parts as possible available to you at any given time. You can buy the most expensive pieces and parts for your build. I'm once again building lightweight. I don't know how to build anything other than lightweight. Please help. Please send help. But I like playing lightweight. I tried out tank treads. I'm like, no. I tried out quad, and I'm like, I feel too bulky. I feel like I take up too much space. And yeah, I went right back to my lightweight legs, and I've just got kind of like an economy booster. I'm not really boosting a whole lot as much as I should. I'm really just relying on this like base speed of my legs to kind of help me dodge oncoming fire. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'd say some advice to like anyone trying this game in particular for the first time. Definitely don't be afraid to like sell your starting stuff and experiment. Upgrade your probably your reactor as soon as possible, like your energy generation reactor, because that is like probably the most important piece of your core besides the core itself. Upgrade that core as well to fit whatever frame you're wanting to use. Like I have like a lightweight core because I like building lightweight. And upgrade your boosters as well. Your boosters are really important to be efficient. But other than that, you can play with weapons. And the one thing with weapons is that with any sort of like physical kinetic sort of weapon, you have to pay for ammunition. But for energy weapons, you don't pay for ammunition. Instead, the energy weapons just take a lot of your energy to fire. So your actual like energy bar, which is like your stamina meter in like a Souls game, it takes up that as a resource instead of taking up your credits as a resource. And so if you're wanting to maximize your gains for any given mission, you can opt to use only like energy weapons.
Gotcha.
At the cost of having to be a lot more aware of your energy usage, because you don't want to hit that. You don't want it to drain to the red. Otherwise, you have a severe like penalty for waiting
like
for
a
it to
deficit.
fill back up. Yeah. It takes a while to fill back up if you go into the red on your energy. So. But that's basically Armored Core. It's the first game, has a lot of what goes on in the future. It's got you have your primary weapon, you have your beam sword, and you have your shoulder weapons. I'm once again not using shoulder weapons, but the gameplay's all there. There's mech versus mech battles with like NPC Armored Core units. Those are fun. But this first game, I mean, it's gonna be a short romp. I think I'm like 3/4 of the way through already.
Oh wow!
It's a pretty quick romp. Yeah, it's made to like get you through pretty quick. The game's whole hook is just replayability from the endless number of different mech combinations you can run. So every mission's kind of designed to be somewhat feasibly done with like pretty much any loadout in this first game. So
right.
I understand that later games can get more strict and difficult with like how you build your mech model, and even like I'd even accuse Armored Core 6 of this at times, to where like I'd be playing like my little lightweight like Armored Core, and then I'd hit a boss battle and like just hit like an absolute brick wall, and I'm like, okay, well I guess I gotta pull out the giant heavy double machine gun sort of thing and just kind of try and out DPS check this thing. So.
Yeah. This got released on backward compatibility for PlayStation. They did nothing to it. They just put it out. So it's that game for the PS1, Armored Core, and they also released a couple other Armored Core games. So I think one or two on the PS1, and then
Yes.
one on the PSP. So they just put those out recently. So I want to play this. So
Oh, recently they've put those out. Nice, nice. For
on the PS5.
PS5,
Yep.
yep. Nice.
On PS5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
pretty
there's
awesome.
so on the PS1 Generation 1 Armored Core is Armored Core, then Phantasma, and then Arena. So those are the three on the PS1. I hear that Phantasma isn't quite as good as the original just because the missions are a lot longer. It can get to be a bit of a slog. And then, but Arena, a lot of people quite like Arena because that one focuses a lot more on the mech versus mech combat.
Gotcha.
And then Gen 2 is there's Armored Core 2, and then there's like another spin-off for the PlayStation or for that Generation 2. I think there's just two in Generation 2 if I remember right. There might be three, I don't quite remember, but then Generation 3 has three of them. Those are also in the PlayStation 2. And the last one in the PlayStation 2 is literally The Last Raven. And that one was from what I understand, that was the first game that Miyazaki actually really had heavy involvement in at FromSoft.
Okay, gotcha.
So that was that game ended up being a lot more difficult than the rest of the Armored Core games. Most people consider that the most difficult Armored Core game. So his involvement was definitely seen.
Yeah, it's the first three Armored Core games that came to PS Plus Classics.
Okay.
So it's all the first three. So
Nice. Yeah, definitely check those games out. I'm wanting to
I will.
check out those games as well at some point. I want to get them all on PlayStation 1. But yeah, so that Last Raven one is like super difficult from what I understand. That's the last one on the PlayStation 2. And then Miyazaki would go on to direct the Armored Core 4 for the PlayStation 3. And that one is like where they just crank up all the movement. They crank up the health pools. They like crank everything up to 11. You have like boost dodges that I think they might have iframes, or like they might be close to having iframes. I mean, it gets ridiculous, the speeds of the mechs in that game. And then there was 4Answer that had more of that. Those were the two that those two were like the games that got Miyazaki's foot in the door before Demon's Souls. So
right, and the PSP one is Last Raven. I want to say I'm pretty sure that's what it's called.
No, that was on the PS2. Last Raven was on the PS2.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
There's a couple on PSP and the,
yes,
like on the classics sort of thing, including the originals. They have a bunch of like those ones on there too. So
yeah, the PSP had their own spin-off series, and those ones are interesting because those ones are like a lot more poppy in nature, and that's because those ones are based off of the idea of having remote-controlled armored cores instead of actually having like a pilot inside of them, from what I understand. So it's more like a, I guess it's more like a gacha force or like a custom robo or something like that, to where like rather than having someone piloting it, your character is kind of like remote controlling an armored core in those PSP games. So it's a lot. The aesthetics and vibes of those games actually remind me a lot of like a Ridge Racer 4 or like a Gran Turismo in terms of like the graphics and like the stylings and things like that. They feel more like a racing Grand Prix sort of feel than like an Armored Core dystopian sort of feel. So it's actually a really interesting dichotomy between the two styles for games. Yeah, then there was Armored Core 5, which was real big, clunky mechs. I probably won't be checking that one out anytime soon.
I heard that one's not as good.
Yeah, it's mostly built for multiplayer. That one is FromSoft saw that multiplayer games were popular, and so they wanted to do multiplayer games, and that's, I guess, where they're at right now.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah, for sure.
we'll see how it goes this
Yeah.
time, but
We'll see. We'll see. I'm not huge. I'm not that big of a fan of their direction they're going right now, personally. But I'm trying to keep an open mind.
I want to get that Elden Pass though.
I know you do. I know you do.
Yeah, that's all Armored Core in a nutshell. Yep.
Yep, I'll definitely check it out on the PS Plus catalog.
Yeah.
I have the
start with that first game.
I have
That's
like
great.
the second or third tier of that thing. I don't even know.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of classic games in there. Like they put all the Sly Cooper games on there, which are great, and the Jack games. You know, they put all those old games. They have Jumping Flash and stuff. You know, like
Jumping
old PS1
Flash. We love
Yeah.
Jumping Flash.
games. Yeah. But yeah, besides your PS1 escapades, you said you've been kind of like looking at your PS2 library or trying to like, fill some holes.
I just got a PS2, like just
Yeah.
within the past like couple weeks, I got a PS2.
Mhm.
I've never owned one, so
Is it fat or slim? Fat or slim?
Slim.
Slim. Okay. I do like how portable that slim one is.
Mm-hmm. It fits nice in my little entertainment center back there, and
Yeah.
it it was something to where I kept telling myself I'm not allowed to buy one because I knew I would start collecting for it, and I was trying to collect for PlayStation 1, and then it just opportunity arose, and I'm like, well, you've already got one here. I'm getting
Yeah.
it for cheap. I might as well just go ahead and start collecting now for it. And I've had a lot of white whales that I've wanted to play on the system anyways. Mostly FromSoft stuff. Go figure. Because there's a lot of FromSoft stuff that's kind of stuck on the PS2.
Kingsfield 4 is on the PS2.
Yes, I've got Kingsfield 4. I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm looking forward to finally completing my Kingsfield experience.
Was that pricey?
No, it was probably around
Really?
$50-$60.
Oh, okay. I always think that game is rare, but maybe I'm wrong.
No,
That's
no.
good. Not bad. Not bad.
That
That's
one's
not bad.
yeah. That's the least amount of money I've spent on a Kingsfield game, I think. So,
Wow. Yeah.
people just aren't seeking after that one. I'm probably not gonna like it as much as I liked Kingsfield 2 US, but
When you do finish that game, let me know. There's a whole like video series of these guys playing through it and a really good podcast like kind of encapsulating their thoughts on it. I want to direct you to. It's from Waypoint. It's Patrick Klepek who does a bunch of news reporting and stuff. He worked at Giant Bomb, Kotaku, Waypoint, and now Remap. They have a great cover with Lobos Jr. as well,
okay.
from Soft Streamer.
Yep.
They talked to him about Kingsfield 4. Really good conversation. I'll direct you to that whenever you finish. So,
but yeah, the games I've got on PlayStation 2 currently are I've got Silent Hill 3. That was a pricey one.
Yep. Yeah, I bet.
And I've got Fatal Frame, like the original Fatal Frame.
Original, okay.
Yep.
Not Crimson Butterfly.
Nope,
Yeah.
just the original one. So I'm looking forward to trying that one out.
Good.
And I've got Radiata Stories. I haven't checked that one out yet.
Yes.
That just came in the
You
mail
were
today.
talking to me about that.
Yep. And I've got Kingsfield 4. And I've got Killzone. I've been looking forward to checking out Killzone. I
original?
haven't checked that out yet. Yep. And then I've got Evergrace. And that Evergrace has kind of been a FromSoft white whale for me. I absolutely adore that soundtrack for Evergrace and like the feel and like mysticism of Evergrace. And I've just barely booted up the game. I haven't had much chance to really play it, but I'm just absorbing it because it's been something I've been. It's the one PS2 game that I've really, really, really wanted to play for a very long time, and I'm finally able to play it. So,
Yeah.
But
That's cool.
There's a lot of FromSoft stuff on there that I'm wanting to check out. They had a launch title as well. It's like Eternal Ring, I think it's called.
Yep, Eternal Ring.
Yeah.
Yes, that's all. That got ported to PS4 or 5 as well, and that's like 15
Did that
bucks on
really?
there. I'm like, I'll check this
Okay.
out. It
Oh.
did. It did. I
Yeah.
need to check it out.
Yeah.
I've heard of all those games for sure. I've heard of Radiata Stories. We were talking about that. Out of all those games that you mentioned, I've played through Killzone almost all the way, the original.
Mhm.
I was like 3/4 through, and I just didn't get through it because it's just, I don't know. It's the story's not that great. The combat, it's just not the best Killzone. It's an okay game. It's not a great game. It's not a bad game. It's just an okay game. And we'll get to that too. I'm playing an okay game on PS2 as well.
Yeah.
We'll talk about for sure.
Well,
But out of all those, that's the one I played. And I've also like taken 5 seconds into Silent Hill 3 because I wanted to kind of I really should play the first one first because 1 and 3 are tied story wise. But I just wanted to kind of wanted a good vibe because that game looks like really nice for a PS2 game. I'm like, I want.
It's very fun. It feels a lot like more Silent Hill 2. Like it.
Yeah.
I did the first like area. I think. Well, I don't understand what happened really. I think what happened was what was kind of supposed to happen. I didn't go where the game wanted me to go at the beginning, and I ended up going like turning around and like going backwards and like in that amusement park area, and then I end up dying to a thing, and then like I'm like, oh, okay, game over, it's cool, and then it's like, wait, the game's got a lot of cutscenes here. Okay, I just kept watching cutscenes and watching cutscenes. I'm like, oh, I'm in a mall now. Okay, so I kind of just like went with the punches. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm in this mall area now, and so
they were probably expecting you to die to something.
Okay.
That's what Silent Hill 1 does, where you are kind of in this like nightmarish zone, and they expect you to get killed so you wake up and you continue on with the story. And they don't tell you that. So that sounds very similar.
Yeah. And then I like found like a save point, and then I ended up getting through that all the way through that whole mall area and beating the boss there. That was a cool boss. And then I'm now in like a subway system area, and that's currently where I'm at with that game. I want to get back to that game soon. But it was a lot of fun just playing that. I've just been playing it blind. And it's very intuitive in terms of like the puzzles and things like that. So, yeah,
that's good. Yeah, I that's the next Silent Hill game I'll probably play after playing the Silent Hill 2 remake, which was a great game, one of the best games I've played in the last couple of years for a remake. 3 is something I want to touch for sure.
Yeah,
I've been doing the same thing. I've been playing a lot of PS2 games too. So,
yeah, 3. And I have I've played a lot of like Dead by Daylight, and like Cheryl Mason's like one of the playable characters in that, so I've used Cheryl Mason a lot, and so like finally playing the game she's from is I've always just used a skin though that replaced Cheryl with the Silent Hill 2 protagonist. I'm losing his name now.
Yeah, James.
James, yep, Sutherland, yep, James Sutherland, and
James Sutherland,
yeah, he's kind of like my go-to character when I'm a survivor in that game. But
gotcha. Yeah, James Sutherland's a great character, and they do him even better justice in that remake, I have to say. Yeah. So I have yet to play the enhanced. Yeah, I want to play that enhanced edition on PS or PC. I haven't gotten to that. It's the original game, just with better textures. They haven't changed much. So if I'm going to play through the original, it'd be that way. So
as for the kill zone, it's a little bit of a weird pick, but I have some like weird history with the IP.
Okay.
Basically, so I think we've talked about on the pod before my Roblox escapades. And if we haven't, I played a lot of Roblox when I was younger, and did a lot of like military sort of roleplay groups on there. And one of the sister groups to my group, one of the groups that we ran with, was heavily based on the Killzone lore, and so after all these years, I'm finally wanting to figure out what that lore was, because I wasn't really a big military gamer as a kid. I still not, but I'm like, yeah, I wanna check this thing out, see what this whole lore is all about. There was another one that was based off of Fear, and I don't remember if the one I'm thinking of was based off of Fear or based off of Killzone. So that's what I'm also trying to figure out. You've heard of Fear, right?
Between the two. Yeah, the Fear is they were by Monolith, who got shut down recently.
Okay.
They did the Shadow of Mordor games, and they got unceremoniously canned. Yeah, yeah, that was the first thing, was Fear 1 through 3. Then they made the Shadow of Mordor games, and they're working on Wonder Woman before they got shut down. So, yeah, rest in peace to them. But yeah, Fear and Killzone, they're not too dissimilar. They're both first-person shooters. Fear is more of a horror shooter.
Yeah.
And then Killzone is just like a straight-up like sci-fi action shooter.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, same as you. I've been really diving into the PS2. Unless you have anything else you want to kind of talk about before.
No, I'm just looking forward to checking out Radio Stories. I started watching like a YouTube essay on it. I got like 5 minutes into it maybe, and they were like talking about like this big like twist that happens in the middle of it. I'm like, all right, I just want to go into this thing blind.
Yeah.
So
that's what annoys me too. Yeah.
Oh, is it a bad twist?
No, it's just whenever YouTubers are talking passionately about games, like games I want to like check into, like, oh, why do you like this game? Retrospectives or whatever, and they immediately start talking story. I go like,
well, they didn't. No, they didn't immediately go into story. They just said that like there is.
I mean this specifically for like Xenoblade, where it's very story heavy. I was like, oh, okay, what does this guy think of like Xenoblade Chronicles 2? I'm like looking into this game to try to see if I like it or want to get into it, and then they immediately start talking story stuff. I'm like, you don't need to tell me the particulars, like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if they're not doing that, that's fine. But
they would have if I kept watching the video. But,
okay. So very similar.
It was a retrospective sort of thing, right? And this is an old game, so that makes sense. And so,
right.
But I just chose like, I don't want to be spoiled on this game at all. So I want to check out this game blind. So I'm looking forward to checking that game out blind.
Yeah.
What it's all about.
I have that game too. I'm excited to play that as well. I don't know almost nothing about it. So before I kind of talk about the newer stuff, I want to talk about like my emulation station sort of thing. I've been kind of building slowly my library of getting things up and running for most of the things I'm interested in. Finishing my RPG master list of stuff I want to kind of play through the years, you know, kind of picking off the tree, shall we say. Like if I have nothing to play, it's gonna be my interstitial game playing. I go like, I want to play an RPG. This is the list I'm grabbing from, right? I don't know if you saw me yesterday. I started the original Drakengard.
Did you really?
I did too.
I actually own this game as well. That was another one that I bought, so I actually own that one as well. Yep,
just Drakengard 1. There's an archive up on my Twitch and YouTube. I played about 30 minutes of the opening of this game. And honestly, I was worried that it was going to be awful. And it wasn't bad. It's not bad. Yeah. The combat is pretty, what's the word? There's no impact to it. It's very wet noodly. But like it's serviceable. It's less than serviceable technically. I hear all the Drakengard games do not have great combat.
Three's good. Three's good combat.
Well, 3. Sure. I have yet to get there. Basically I wanted to earn my way up to 3. That's kind of what I want to do. Drakengard 1's not a long game. It's 10, 11 hours. It's something I might plug away at. It's got that game is
multiple
a Muso.
endings, I'm pretty sure.
That game is a Muso. The Drakengard 1 is a Muso. It's weird. Like there's a whole map and there's like battalions, groups of enemies you encounter, and you're like fighting all of them at once. It's very like
no Drakengard. I'd say that Drakengard 3 is kind of a Muso too. Yeah.
Okay, if it's similar, one feels like that where you're fighting.
Like you don't have your own battalion per se, but you are fighting through like hordes. in that way.
Hordes. It's very similar. It's
Yeah.
like they all come in like 5 to 6 man pockets. It feels like.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you're dealing
Is
with.
Is that a Muso? Does that make it a Muso?
I think it does. It's the wide open map with time limits and then groups of enemies that come up to you. It's like you're fighting through like crowds of people. That kind of defines Musos.
Is that what you do in like other? I don't play a lot of these sort of like action games. Isn't that what you do in like a Devil May Cry or like a you do that in Bayonetta?
No.
You like fight like hordes of things.
Yes and no. But it's more like open spaces that the way you're kind of traversing them is you're fighting through hordes of enemies. That's a Muso. Like basically open stretches of land with many people to fight. It's like a Samurai Warriors or something like that. Like it's the Warriors games. It feels very like those.
Yeah, but those Warriors
like
games, you have like your own like battalion fighting alongside you as well, and I thought that's
the difference.
Game. Yeah,
that's the difference. Where you're like a single man army, pretty much, and you're just hacking away at fools. I don't think it's like a smaller scale version.
I still don't think that makes it. It can feel like a Muso, sure, but I don't know if that.
I think that's the best way I can describe it. That's the best way I like. Yeah. Maybe it's not like it's a third person action game if we want to be really reductive.
Yeah.
But if I were to compare it in terms of scale, it is a bite-sized Muso. That's what it feels like.
It feels more like a Muso than like a Devil May Cry, is what you're saying.
Yes, okay. That is 100% what I'm saying.
Okay.
That is honestly a really good encapsulation of it. But yeah, it seems very generic so far. It's like, people are fighting, things are going bad, you're saving the princess and a dragon. You end up encountering a dragon and you make this death pact where you're dying and the dragon's dying. You kind of shove your life forces together and become bonded. That's what
I think it's kind of like what I talked about in my my review of Drakengard 3, right? This is like where Yoko Taro is just starting out, so that he's kind of like in his lane, he's like trying to get his bearings, things like that, and I don't know anything about 2. I know quite a bit about 1 and like some of the twists in 1 and things like that. It has kind of a BS final boss like 3, so probably just skip that final boss. I wouldn't even bother. From what I understand, it's even more difficult than the 1 and 3 that I skipped. So
fun.
But I don't know a blessed thing about 2. I think that I really think that with like 3, they just let him do literally whatever he wanted, and they kind of had to rein him back after that one, because that one's kind of insane. Like, it's bonkers. Like, it's the kind of game that will never be made again. That game will never be made again. It's not going to be remade. That game is way too vulgar to ever be remade, to ever be like on anything else, ported to anything. I think they just want to sweep that game under the rug.
I think it's honestly because it's just a bold direction, and it's not as popular.
Yeah,
it's like a niche game.
It's very very bold in terms of story and characterization, and it earns its M rating. It earns its M rating for sure. So
for sure, yeah. From what I can see for Drakengard, it sounds like it doesn't pull punches with this one too. There's a lot of like different themes. In it. Like pretty advanced, mature themes.
It seems more straight laced, though.
Yeah, it seems less, loose. I guess with its themes, it's very, it's like very Game of Thronesy when it comes to content. But it's Yoko Taro at the helm for the story and writing. He's not directing this one. I don't think he directed them until 3. I want to say, but he was a part of the making of this one for sure. Yeah, I guess I like I said, didn't play a lot of it. Combat is not the best. It's not lacking really. It's just kind of like meh. It works. You kind of have a weapon rotation That's interesting. You have like a side dodge left and right on the bumpers, attack, jump, very stock standard. Um, there's like on rails dragon sequences,
Yep.
very like Panzer Dragoon Orta. It's very like that. But it actually works pretty well, and there is some free flying. Like you're not just like it's not like a rail shooter, but there is some free flying that you can do, and it works pretty serviceably. It feels like everything works just well enough to play it. You know.
Yep.
I hear 2 is worse in a lot of ways, but 1 seems like a pretty good attempt at you know, bringing along what they want to convey, I guess.
Yeah.
And it sounds like 2's not as good, and 3's getting better in some aspects, but it doesn't run well on original hardware.
I didn't have any problems running it, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, people have tried to make that game run better on different things.
Sure.
So,
yeah. It can run better.
It definitely can. And I had no problem running this one either. Like, Drakengard 1 runs pretty well. I will be playing more of it. I'm kind of like venturing into streaming a little bit, trying to set up my OBS and Twitch streaming and kind of getting more comfortable with it. And Drakengard was one of those games I kind of started, and I'll see kind of how far it takes me, you know.
Yeah. No, the only stream I caught was the One Piece one, so.
yeah, One Piece. And you caught me at the best part of it because it kind of fell apart after that.
Oh, really?
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So what happened was, okay, so I was playing Shonen Jump's One Piece. It's a side-scrolling beat 'em up from Dimps, which we love Dimps, but
we do
you
love
and I,
Dimps. Yeah.
they did a Dragon Ball Adventure as well, which is one of my personal favorite GBA beat 'em ups with little Goku. It's based off of original
Sonic
Dragon Ball.
Advance, which is probably the best
Sonic Advance
2D Sonic game series like ever. I'd say those advanced games are probably the pinnacle of 2D Sonic. So
they are good too. I have played those.
Yeah.
Those are good as well. I haven't played through them, but I played them with you multiple times, and they're very good games. Dimps is known for a lot of anime sourced video games. They're very. I think they were involved in a lot of Dragon Ball stuff specifically.
Yeah. Specifically,
a lot of Dragon Ball stuff. Yes, I want to say they maybe did some of the Budokai games. This I'm not sure about, but I'm pretty.
Sounds
certain.
right.
I think they did Budokai Tenkaichi, whatever. But anyway, they made this. It's basically covering Romance Dawn in One Piece, one of the very first arcs. It doesn't seem like very long. It's 3 stages and then like 6 worlds, basically, or 6 settings. Does not seem like a long game. It's like 12.
That sounds right for
stages.
a side-scrolling beat 'em up like that. That's similar to like those Konami Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games.
Yep. Very, very similar to that specifically.
Didn't seem as tight though in the combat.
No, that's something I wanted to bring up. So first of all, the thing I loved about this game the most, the sprite work is excellent. It's so crisp looking, very clean. It runs beautifully. I'm playing on an emulator, but it runs awesome. The music is okay. It's One Piece music. GBA's sound chip is pretty crap. So I kind of lowered the volume on that. But yeah, like some of the like if there's a punch, kick, jump, whatever. There's also like gum moves where he's like, you play as Luffy, the main character of One Piece. He's stretching and stuff, and there's different attacks and supers you can do. There's summons you can have if you meet characters. You can select them on a kind of a summon wheel where you can toggle between your special attacks and theirs. But the thing that I just didn't like the most is like the platforming seems pretty stiff. Like you have to really get a running start on pretty much anything. And the enemies don't react as well. Sometimes you'll be right up on them and you'll just whiff, you'll miss. And it's kind of annoying. There might be just like a shred of latency on my emulator. I don't know. I maybe need to get into settings and mess around with it. But yeah, there's a couple like minor things here and there that it feels like it's like not as precise as you want it to be. And the thing that fell apart, like I played about an hour of that. I got through the first 2 stages. The thing that fell apart is like every time you finish a stage, there's 3 levels per stage, and there's 6 entirely, like I mentioned. You fight a boss on the third level of each stage. In the second set of this boss, you fight Buggy the Clown, who is a rival pirate captain. And Dragon Ball Adventure has this as well, where you are fighting bosses, and there's usually a pretty steep difficulty spike to kind of make it to the next thing, because the game is not the longest thing in the world, so they kind of have to skill check you a little bit. But the thing that fell apart, a couple things. The previous level before, I was having a hell of a time getting this platforming level done right. I was just missing left and right. I felt like there was a difficulty spike with some of the enemies and kind of the crap they're throwing at you. And then once I finished that, after save scumming just to get through it, I fought Buggy and I was just getting shredded. And he doesn't have like any like like the repetition and patterns. It's just like you can't bank on anything being a certain way. He's just kind of like random to be random. And basically you have to like hit him. There's only one way to like hit him, and if you get too close to him, he'll feint, like feint, and he'll like back up in like the screen, and you can't attack him. And then when you're close, he does this like really annoying move. Man, the difficulty spike made me like want to rage. I'm like, it's to the point where I was just like, I don't know if I want to play through this. If there's other boss fights similar to this, it's unfair. It feels like it's like when a fighting game, if you're playing an arcade mode and you're doing too well, it feels rubber banded.
Yeah.
It feels like that.
Yeah.
Where I was like hitting a lot of hits on him, and then it rubber banded, it felt like, and he was getting the advantage on me. And I was just, at some point I wasn't able to land a hit. I'm like, you know what? We're going to save scum until I beat this thing. And it was such a pain. Really, really, really steep difficulty spike. Like I said, Dragon Ball Adventure has this a little bit. It's not as bad there. But yeah, it's a very, very good side-scrolling anime property game for the GBA. I really like it so far, aside from the boss fight. But yeah, that's the thing I played on stream. And then after that, I kind of I was checking out my GameCube collection, and I pulled out Billy Hatcher.
Oh no!
Just
Not
to see
Billy
what that
Hatcher.
thing was. Yeah, Billy Hatcher. It was. How do I feel about Billy Hatcher? It's a game, man. It is not a good one, I don't think.
No.
It's very odd.
It's like
very odd. So
Monkey Ball if it was
Yeah.
bad.
it's basically Monkey Ball. It's Monkey Ball where all the controls feel bad. Like it just feels bad. So you're basically always rolling eggs, and you have to feed them, and then like once they're fed, they'll light up, and you have to step back from them and then yell at them, and then something good will come out of an egg. But you could also use them as a way to platform to attack enemies. Yeah. It's so weird, man. It's so weird. It feels like a mixture between, I don't know, Balan Wonderworld, some parts of Nights, Monkey Ball, and like, I don't know, Sonic a little bit. It's from Sonic Team, I want to say.
It is Sonic Team.
Yeah, Sonic Team.
Do you think?
I don't know.
Which one of these games came out first? That game or Katamari Damacy? Because
that's another one I was going to say.
That's
too.
one
Katamari
that's really
feels
similar.
Like
I'm a big Katamari enjoyer. I actually adore Katamari Damacy personally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you feel about.
I've only
Katamari.
played the first one.
Yeah, I've only played the first one as well. They ported it
Mm-hmm.
to PC fairly recently, and I picked it up and played through it, and I loved every minute of it. Such a vibey sort of game that you just, shut your brain off and roll things up, and it's fun.
Yeah. It feels very Damacy as well. And they also put out We Love Katamari recently too, the second one. Just on everything. Yeah. But yeah, it really reminded me of Katamari Damacy as well. It's just not very good. And I don't know. I don't know if it's the controls or just me not getting it. I don't know if I'll play it again or not, but it feels like a lot of ideas got thrown in there and the execution was just severely lacking. I don't know. I really need to play more of it to kind of get my feelings on it. But initially, Billy Hatcher was pretty sour taste, I have to say.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they. I guess it's just one of those weird games that they wanted to do.
Yeah. Well,
if you want to play something by Sonic Team, just play Sonic Adventure 2. The game's on the same system. It's way better.
Well, they were rebooting Billy Hatcher. I want to say that was a Genesis game or an old Sega game.
Was it really?
And they brought. I think they brought him forward. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it was just a one-time thing. Well, you know what? I might be conflating it with Alex Kidd.
Yeah, Alex Kidd is very different. IP.
I think that's the one I'm conflating it with. But anyway,
Alex Kidd,
no matter what, if they're bringing it forward or if it's a new experiment, it's not working, honestly.
Oh no,
so.
I didn't play Alex Kidd. I played Wonder Boy in Monster World. That's the one that I played. Is that related to Alex Kidd? Is that same generation? It is a
master. It's a Master System game.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yep, same generation.
That remake by Lizard Cube is really good. By the way,
yes, that's what I played. I played that remake a while back, whenever that came out, and I absolutely adored that art style and everything about it.
It's really nice.
It was a really fun game.
It was cool. You could switch back and forth.
So I can't tell you anything I actually did in the game, but I remember enjoying it.
I really like that idea of just putting a fresh coat of paint on an old game like that. It's a very simple game, but it like looks really nice. That 2D hand drawn sprite stuff was really nice looking.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
More games should do that to where you can like go back and forth, because those Halo Halo Remastered did that. People liked that.
I was just gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
100%. It's really cool that they're able to do that.
Yeah, I especially when they're like touching on games that are really important to me, like early 3D games, like being able to go back and forth between like current gen graphics and old gen graphics would be really really nice for me to like, I can check this out now because you're not messing with my graphics. You're just making this more accessible. So.
And I think that like bringing back Oblivion Remastered feels like that too, where it's got a fresh coat of paint as well as some upgrades to an already really good game.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if you could switch art styles there too, since they kind of have it still running under the hood. But they've made enough tweaks to it. I don't think you could do that. So
yeah, and those. I mean, for me, the like 360 area didn't really age well, anyways. So
it depends on what you're playing, but I can go there with you a little bit.
I'd rather see like the like Xbox and GameCube and PS2 gen graphics than the 360 graphics. I just don't think
it was just
graphics in PS3.
That
graphics
era was
too well.
Yeah, that era was very like HD.
Everything has to be real and hyper realistic, and then it just
720p. Freaking everything looks like plastic. Like I'm with you there a little bit. Not like the later gen stuff starts looking really good.
Yes. Yep.
But yeah, like the 2006 through like 9 stuff for that generation, not the sharpest thing in the world. I can go there with you for sure. Yeah. But basically, dabbled with Billy Hatcher, Drakengard 1, One Piece, and then the final thing I played through is I think I'm going to just play through the old Lego Star Wars games because they're short.
I almost picked those up for PlayStation 2.
They're great. I like the complete saga because they put both of those games together. But I love the lobby of the first one where it's in Dexter's Diner.
I know. I was missing that hub world, that original hub world of that original. Because at some point when I was a kid, I ended up selling my copies of Lego Star Wars 1 and 2 on the GameCube to get complete saga. Because that's just what kid brain does. And I'm definitely sad that I've done that. But I saw them at a local store here. They had like Lego Star Wars 1 and 2 on PS2, and I'm like, oh, do I do that? I'm like, I'm probably not going to get around to those games anytime soon.
Honestly, like if you did those, like so for instance on stream, I played through episode 1. It took me like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's
just
not
to play
hard.
through it.
Yeah,
it's not hard. It's really fun. I have such a huge amount of nostalgia for those games. Like, but it's like my old game playing time was like PS2 and original Xbox. Like I played so much of that era, and like GameCube even. But even that I was playing at your house.
Yep.
But yeah, it was like Sly Cooper, Kingdom Hearts, freaking Lego Star Wars, like Star Wars Battlefront. Like that was my
and
PS2.
we both had that overlap of Lego Star Wars because we both owned
Yes.
them on our, because it was for multi-plats for everything, and so
Yes. Yeah, we played so much of that game.
yeah, I remember getting into that like right when that first game released, that first Lego Star Wars. I'm like, oh, this is cool. It's
Same.
Lego and it's Star Wars. It's like two of my favorite things at the time, and
It's like
then,
peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. And then that second game released, I'm like, oh, original trilogy, even better, So, yeah.
Yeah, the original trilogy I don't like as much. I have a soft spot in my heart towards the prequels, which I'll talk about later too, because I saw episode 3 in theaters last week, and which was great.
It's a good movie.
But yeah, that's kind of like the impetus for me starting to play these again. I was just like, it's been long enough. I think.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I think I'm going to play through it, and I can play the complete saga. I have a 360 downstairs. And one day I want to like get all the achievements in that. That'd be fun. But I just wanted to just play the PS2 ones and go like, this is how it used to be, man. You know, because they added some like weird collection stuff in Complete Saga. I'm not a huge fan of, and they changed like the hub world, and I wanted the vanilla experience of playing through that game.
Yeah, I think I 100%ed that game like twice as a kid, the Complete Saga.
Oh yeah.
And I 100%ed like the original ones as well before pawning them off. But
Lego games were so fun to 100% because they just basically like, if you want to do everything, they always reward you really well for that, and they're always easy to do. I definitely 100%ed the first Lego Star Wars, like 100%. The original trilogy, I don't think I did, but I did do the Complete Saga like you, like twice, easily did that. Also like the first Lego Batman, Lego Indiana Jones, all over those games.
I wasn't a big Batman fan, so never got into the Batman one, but Lego Indiana Jones, I definitely 100% of that one.
That first one. I don't like the second Indiana Jones like at all. I think it's kind of crap. The first one is great. And then the one I love the most out of any of their games, it's kind of tied. The Lego Lord of the Rings is amazing.
I need to check
It's the best Lego game.
Still.
And it's delisted. Like you can't buy that anywhere.
Really?
Which kind of sucks.
Huh.
You have to only get it on disc.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. It's just licensing stuff, really. It's that, and then Lego Batman 3 is just an amazing video game. So good. Yeah, like, you want to talk, like, setting a format and template and just running with it. Like, all those games are the same as the first one. It's like Pokemon. They didn't change a thing. You're getting characters, you're getting mini-kits, you're getting collectibles. Like, that's what you're doing.
And that's not a bad thing. Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. No, I mean, if it ain't broke, right?
The last one of those games I ever played through was Lego Pirates of the Caribbean for the Nintendo DS. I played that DS version of that, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad romp. So.
Yeah. I'm just not a huge... I wasn't a huge fan of that game for whatever reason. I love the movies.
Did you play the DS version or the HD version? You probably played that HD
The HD 360 version. I wanted to play through that, and I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really like it that much. I like those movies growing up, but like there's something about Star Wars and Indiana Jones that's deep to my core.
Those feel like Lego games. Like, I get that.
Yes.
100%.
Yep. There's just something about those properties that I'll just play anything that they have in them.
Yeah, I was pretty gung ho about 100%ing games as a kid, like because I didn't have a lot of games, and so.
Same.
But then I got Chimps for the Nintendo DS, and it changed everything.
Space Chimps, man. You got to talk about Space Chimps.
Space Chimps has ruined my life, honestly. I couldn't get that one collectible because the game shipped without that collectible being available. So.
Well, you should play a Lego Star Wars game to cleanse your memory because you can get all the collectibles in that. It feels good every time.
You can. That's true.
It feels really good. I bet you if you like completed, because the first one has like 50 characters, like it's nothing compared to those other games. Like you get to like Lego Batman 3, there's like 400 characters, and you're like, what? And so like everything's like really small and like the circle tiles.
Yeah, you can barely tell who you're picking. That's awesome.
Is that Martian Manhunter? Yeah, like I can't tell half the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the simplicity of those first games because they're just like super digestible. You can just play them at your own pace. And something I love is that the Legos don't freaking talk. I don't need Legos to talk.
Don't they
They're
talk
good
in
just going,
Lord of the Rings one?
They do. The exception is they take movie dialogue, and it sounds good.
That's funny.
The thing that I don't like about the Lego games now is they just dub them with just voice actors.
I like
it loses something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was great. Yeah, just make it like Charlie Chaplin. That's what I want.
Yeah, I like the Admiral Akbar when they're showing off like the Death Star plans and all that.
Yes.
He's like,
yes.
Like, yeah.
And he goes like, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. It's just timeless.
Make Lego games great again and have them stop talking.
That's right.
That's what I
make them shut up. Make our Legos shut up and make weird noises.
Basically,
I like that.
Shut up and do your job. Give me collectibles and don't make a sound. That's what I want. But yeah, that's pretty much rounding out my emulation talk. I'll play through that game probably, and it's not going to take that long. So that'll be my first like completed game, I'm sure.
Yeah,
those are
good games. Those Lego games. Yeah,
they're great games. I really love them. Any other odds and ends for you before we jump into our little topic this week?
Yeah, a couple of live servicey things I've been.
Oh boy.
First of all, I had some friends drag me kicking and screaming back into Overwatch 2.
Oh god.
I played like
what are you doing that for?
Rounds of it, and I'm like, wow, I hate this. And then I did that yesterday, and then today I played a few rounds of it, and I'm like, wow, I still hate this. Even when I'm winning, like even when I'm like getting like play the game as the little hamster, I play the hamster guy, little wrecking ball, and
wrecking ball.
He's my guy. I like him. He does the one thing I like that he just swings around and kills people, and I don't know, just it clicks with me for some reason. People are like, he's a complex character. I'm like, you just swing around and do the thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's a lot of fun, and it's always funny to see play the game with him, because it's always something really weird with him.
Are you still playing Marvel Rivals, by the way?
No, I haven't checked that game out in ages. I played at the beginning of the second season, and then after that I didn't check it out since they added like the two other Fantastic Four, and then they've recently added Emma Frost, I think.
They definitely did. Yeah, everyone loves Emma
People are
Frost
happy for that. Yeah, people are really excited about that.
They're like, oh, her thighs jiggle. I'm like, go touch some grass and quit being a virgin. Like, shut up.
Speaking of not touching grass and being a virgin, the other live servicey game I got into. Now you have to understand, I've been threatening to get into this game for quite often. I think I've even threatened to get into it on this podcast before. But
all right.
It's the reason I threatened to get into it before was because they had a Code Geass crossover, but I missed out on that. But now they're doing a Fate Stay Night crossover, and the game is Mahjong Soul.
Gross.
So
Mahjong sucks.
I knew nothing about Mahjong before playing this. I just knew I didn't know how to play it. So I spent a few hours last night figuring out Mahjong, right? And now I've got about 6 hours in this game, and I like Mahjong.
Oh. You know what I should have you do? I should let you play my copy of Yakuza 0.
Yeah.
So you can get all the completionless Mahjong stuff for me, so I don't have to freaking play it.
No problem.
That's what I want. Honestly, I'm not even joking. Yeah. That is the one barrier for me completely platinum.
It's fun. I enjoy Mahjong. I like Mahjong. Can
you please explain it to me at some point? I want to finish that game.
Yeah.
and I just can't with that. I just can't do it.
Okay, I found this really funny
not
guide.
Here. It doesn't have to be here.
No, I'll just tell you
here.
this. I'll tell you this. So I found this funny guide on Reddit when I was trying to explore like how the heck to play Mahjong, right? Because even like the Mahjong Soul game doesn't do a good job of like telling you how to play this stupid thing, right? And it's such a nebulous thing that if you don't have someone like sit down with you that actually knows what they're doing, then you really don't have a snowball's chance of figuring this game out, right? It's one of those types of games. I really think it is. That's kind of how it's intended to be, right? It's intended to be passed down to people, right? In the culture of Mahjong, you know? So I found this Reddit post, and it was actually for the, like, Yakuza Mahjong. Like, how the heck do I play this thing? And the guy is like, he's basically like, never pwn, never cone, never chi, always, it's like, or never con, never chi. He's like, you just hold your hand, collect the Dora, which is, in Mahjong Soul, they kind of shine, so it's pretty easy to know what your Dora is, but it's like the tile in the middle in, like, Yakuza. You just, you add one to that tile, and then if it's a wind, then they go in alphabetical order, or if it's a dragon, they go in alphabetical order, English alphabet for both those, and, it's pretty much just that. If you're wanting to just like power through it. Now obviously I'm playing ranked on Mahjong Soul. Yeah, I know I'm a ranked Mahjong player. Look at me. So I'll kind of like vary my play style, you know, depending on what kind of hand I have. I'm like, yeah, I need to be a little bit more aggressive here because this hand kind of sucks. Or I can be like, oh, this hand's almost complete. I can just hold back and kind of just naturally draw what I need, hopefully. There's different like pros and cons for each different sort of I guess play style for any given match. But it's fun. I like Mahjong. It's fun.
Okay. Can you please send me that link, please? I'm not joking.
Yeah, no,
I'm not even joking.
I'll try and scrounge it up.
I would appreciate that. Yeah, because that's literally the barrier for me trying to get that completion list done is doing Mahjong. And everyone's like, yeah, this sucks. The game doesn't tell you how to play Mahjong. I'm like, well, I guess I'm boned.
No, and even like Mahjong Soul like has like interactive tutorials, but like they're kind of bare bones, and I actually ended up doing them twice to even like figure out. Like I did all the tutorials, I got into some games, I had no idea what I was doing, so I looked at some online resources. Then I did the tutorials in the game again, and with like the experience of having actually like tried to play the game, I'm like, oh, okay, now I understand what they're actually trying to tell me with all these weird words like Richi and Fukureta or something like that, and Pon and Chi and Kan and lots of weird, you know, Asian sounding terms that just weren't clicking with me. And
hey now, watch yourself.
That's what they are. They were clicking with me. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm kidding. Don't listen to me. I'm trying to cause a problem.
You are. Yeah, you're trying to get the
hot water. Yeah,
trying to get Twitter on me. Yeah, gonna get canceled. Yeah, for not understanding Mahjong terms. Uh-oh.
That's a good offense to get fired on. Yeah,
I think so. But no,
release the wolves.
Yeah, I've been having a ton of fun with Mahjong Soul though. But the reason I got into it was the Fate crossover, and I've yet to get any of the Fate characters because they don't give you like any. It's a gacha game, so you have to pull for characters, and they don't give you any free characters. The characters are purely cosmetic. The game is literally just Mahjong. Like there's no special boosts or anything like that. There's like events that have something like that, but it's all like obviously like progression based, so it's all free to play. But the only like paid for thing is the skins, and they're not pay to win in the least. And like the characters, and I put $30 into the game. I got 2 10 pulls. It's pretty bad rate for gacha games. Really bad rate, in fact. But obviously the gacha mechanic is there, not as like a gameplay thing, like in like say a Zenless Zone Zero or a Genshin Impact. This is more like just purely cosmetic gacha. So, but I end up hitting a character, not a fate character, but I end up losing the 59-41 and hitting just one of their original characters. And I got a fine character. She's some like gamer girl or whatever. She's just like me for real. And so she's got like this one like emote where she's like punching in her computer screen and like breaking it, and you can like send that to people while you're playing Mahjong. So I'll get like a really good hand, and then I'll just spam the breaking the computer screen on people. I had one time where I actually had somebody disconnect on me after my hand was so good in Mahjong. I made them rage quit Mahjong.
That's so funny. Yeah. Imagine if people in like, I don't know, the old dynasties, they made them rage quit by just making funny faces at them.
Yeah, like
that was their
like,
version of that.
Yeah,
I have a better hand than you. I have all the sets, idiot. Yeah. And he was like, oh. Yeah,
I had a really good hand in one of them though. And I ended up getting like every single basically my whole hand was just pairs of tiles, like 2 pairs of tiles, and I won using that one time, and that felt really good. That was like, oh my gosh, like I got a ton of like points, and like everyone like lost a ton of points, and I'm like, you guys suck at Mahjong. I'm the best at Mahjong.
I am the eldest boy. Yeah, that's so funny.
But it's such a swingy game though. It's a lot like Magic the Gathering Commander, because it's a 4-player game, and so you're expected to win 25% of the time. That's how 4-player games work, right? And so you should really just like try and play conservative and try and get like around 2nd place, 1st place every time. But I like to go for really weird hands and like try and get like the most like jank like combination of tiles together. And so it like almost never works out, but when it does, like I just like explode my tiles onto the table, and like everyone just loses like all their points, and I get all their points, and I'm like, you guys suck.
The thing about Mahjong that's so crazy is like there's like 30 win conditions. Like,
yes.
You have this set of Mahjong, you win this way, and if you get this creates this, and then it's like, how do you keep track?
There's also a lot of ways you can lose Mahjong, so you definitely have to keep track of that as well. There's a lot of times where I've locked myself out of winning Mahjong. You can't just click button that pops up every single time it pops up and expect to win. You have to actually like think ahead, like, okay, I'm getting these tiles because this is what my hand is, and you gotta choose whether you want to use tiles from your opponent's discard, or if you want to just hoard your own hand and hide everything and only get sequences and triplets by drawing your tiles for turn instead of using your opponent's discard. So there's a lot of like a lot of chance to it, but also a lot of forward thinking to it, looking at your opponent's tiles, what they've discarded. There was one point where like my opponent had declared that they were basically trying to win. There's this thing that's basically like Uno. It's called Ricci, and you can like declare that like, hey, I only need one tile, and then I win this. So y'all better get your act together. I'm just gonna win this, and so I was just like playing my tiles. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this tile, and I haven't seen anyone play this, but surely nobody needs this tile, right? And I played it. I'm like, immediately the player who declared that they only need one more tile, that was the tile they needed. And I was like, oh, the player at the east seat needed the east wind tile. I probably should have seen that coming because they get a lot of bonus points for doing that. But so it's just decisions like that, just looking at what your opponents are doing, trying to figure out what they're doing. It's fun.
Yeah.
Mahjong.
I might just have to get on a call with you and just figure it out. Like, honestly, just stream it out so you go like, what are you dealing with? You know?
I'm not an expert, I can promise you, but I know enough to be dangerous, right? I can at least find like a winning hand out of any sort of like mahjong hand. I'd be like, oh yeah, you can go for this, or you can go for this. You know, it's just pattern recognition. You know, like there's certain patterns that the game wants you to do. So.
Yeah, that's mahjong. I'm gonna need some help, so I'll get your help on that at some point.
Fun. I still need to get those fate characters though. I got to do more pulls to get those fate characters. I've basically told myself I'm not allowed to do any more pulls till I like start ranking up in mahjong because I need to become a serious mahjong gamer before I spend more money on this thing. So. Yeah.
So that's all the odds and ends we've been playing.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I think I'm going to take a quick break real quick.
Yeah.
And from there we'll continue on if you don't mind. Just give me like 5 minutes or so and we'll keep her going after that.
All right.
Stick Drift is back, and we're lighter than ever. We feel great. That was a good break. What do you think?
Yeah, we were drifting, but now we're not drifting into the mahjong world.
I was like, yeah. Not to get too TMI, but I was like, I think I'm just getting old, and I just can't hold things as well anymore. Just to be completely frank with people.
Yeah.
But we live, we learn, we grow older. And
the mahjong
now we're
was
talk
making
about...
you older. I've been made fun of.
Yes.
Quite a bit
How did you know? It's like the M. Night Shyamalan movie of conversations where it's the beach where everyone's getting old. This is the conversation where you're talking about mahjong. It's making me old.
I've been made fun of because it's like that's what old men do is play mahjong. So it's like eating into the whole bit that my friends have, where I'm like the old man of the friend group because I like retro stuff. Group. So
with that comes. I don't know, an air of superiority, so you probably just feel better than them anyway. Feel like
I'm better than them because I play mahjong specifically.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was getting at. But let's talk about some games we want to play in between big releases. That's kind of just like an evergreen list of stuff you want to, I guess if you want to collect, you want to emulate, that sort of thing. I have a kind of like a backlog list I'll probably pull from. And let's just boomerang back and forth. That's kind of what we do normally now with these topics.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to just list off like 10's probably good for me. I'll just talk shortly about a few of them, and we'll just ping pong. Mm-hmm. So why don't you go first? Just anything you're interested in kind of going back and playing that you either have collected or that you haven't?
Yeah, something I've been wanting to find time to play that I just has been super like one of those games that are like we tend to, at least I tend to like have like this image of a game in my head as like, this is what the game is, and like transports me into like this like sort of like fairy tale version, I guess, of that game, right? And for me,
I know what you mean.
That is East 1. I
was thinking about East yesterday.
I want to play East 1. I have it loaded onto my Nintendo Switch, the virtual console of that really, really, really good Neo Geo TurboGrafx version. It's a TurboGrafx version. And it's got like the opening like little like cutscene and everything with like the beautiful like pixel sort of graphics and like the CD soundtrack and that's the version of Ys I want to play. I have the like Ys one, like the newest one, the Chronicles Plus one or whatever on PC, but I really want to play that version of Ys in particular because I hear that one's like the like most I guess true vision of Ys from what I understand. Besides that Chronicles Plus version, so
it's called Ys 1 Ancient Ys Vanished, is that right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, so they ported it for the first time to a modern console. That's kind of amazing.
So yeah, Ys 1 and 2 Chronicles Plus is like the big like remastery thing with like the it got like completely different graphics, but I want to play that Turbo Graphics version
Original.
for sure.
Yeah. So there's like different gameplay styles. Like I think those old ones are just they do the bump combat.
Yep, bump
just
combat.
Run into enemies.
Yep.
Yeah. I saw the ones you're talking about, the remakes. They're on DS. It's Ys 1 and 2. It's a combo that I'm thinking of, and that's probably the version I would play for Ys 1.
There's myself, a lot of versions of Ys 1. There's like a billion different versions of Ys 1. And the DS one is weird. If you're talking about like the DS one, right? That's in like 3D. That's like 3D backgrounds and stuff.
I think so, yeah.
That one doesn't have bump combat if you are not using the stylus to move. Yeah, that one's a really weird version to play.
It's a remake. Apparently the old one is really hard too. It's really just however you want to do it. That's what I hear. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I've watched like in-depth reviews on it, and it's not so much hard as it is like cryptic, but once you know what you're doing, then it's really not that bad to get through. You can get through it in like a few hours, from what I understand. But
so what is this? Okay, on Switch, what is the name of this Ys game? Because I'm seeing two different versions of this.
So on Switch, I'd wager they have a port of Ys 1 and 2 Chronicles Plus. That's probably the version to go for on the Switch.
The one I'm seeing is Egg Console Ys PC 880 1MK2 Sir. That's what I'm saying.
Oh. No, you don't want
not
that
the same
version.
one?
No.
Okay.
This doesn't look
That's
like
the
a
one
very
I'm saying.
good port. That's like the PC 88. That's like one of the original versions of it. If you want to play a retro version of it, maybe try out the TurboGrafx 16 version. I think that might be a better way to play this.
Gotcha.
Now, Ys Origin on the Switch is not that game at all. Okay.
Ys Origin is a prequel to 1 and 2.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't play that Egg Console Ys one. That doesn't seem like. I mean, it'd be pretty close to the very original one, and that it's like a old like one of those Japanese PC games that it's not gonna feel too good to play, I don't think, compared to like a console contemporary from that time.
Yeah, period. It's not important really. You wanted to play Ys 1 though.
Yep. But yeah. That's the version though that I do want to check out, is that TurboGrafx one. I was actually I was at work and I don't exactly remember how it came on, but I ended up stumbling upon like the opening sort of movie for Ys won the TurboGrafx 16 version, and I just like was entranced by it, and so like it had like the perfect blend of like the like sort of late 80s anime aesthetic with like those like late 80s CD quality pixel graphics. So
yeah, awesome. So that's the first little bit of those. I guess, yeah, the next thing I'm looking to kind of play, since we're boomeranging a little bit, I want to play through Phantasy Star, the original Phantasy Star.
Yeah, it's a good game.
The Sega Ages one. I know you played that, but that's for my next like old RPG thing I'm going to tackle after Persona. It's probably going to be the original Phantasy Star. That's like
Sega
next to my backlog.
Ages version. I wonder what that version's like.
Yeah, I hear it's okay. It's on Switch anyway. It's Sega Ages Phantasy Star. On the Sega Genesis Classic, the Sega Genesis.
They give you a map.
They put out.
What?
Yeah.
And they give you a freaking health bar for your characters with your HP and MP? I didn't have any of this. That's not fair.
It's like a remake of or not a remake. It's like a, like a quality of life sort of thing.
Yeah, that's super nice.
And then they put 2, 3, and 4 on the Sega collection, and then I think on the Genesis service they put a couple Phantasy Stars on there. But anyway, that first one is the one I want to play through, and that seems like the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just do it with a guide. And how long did it take for you to beat it?
Not very. I don't. I played it on my Wii, so I have no like timer or anything for it. But
if you had to guess, is it like under 10 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I played through it with a guide too,
Okay.
because there's no way I was getting through that game without a map, a guide, anything. So
right.
Yeah. They have a cat alien thing named Meow, so this
Good stuff.
Yeah. It's truly the
if Sega was smart, they would make
a
another Phantasy Star game. But
yeah, that original one's actually pretty dang like progressive in terms of like the like female protagonist being like the like the main hero of it. She's like very emboldened and powerful female figure for that game. So cool stuff.
Yeah. That's my first one. Yeah, what else are you kind of looking to kind of crack into at some point?
Yeah, I've been wanting to eventually get around to one of the most influential RPG Maker horror games I never got around to. It's been one of my white whale games, Corpse Party. I've been wanting to get through that. I have that like remake for the 3DS that I literally bought the limited edition for. Just never played it. So it's kind of one of my sort of big ones that I need to get through, because I'm wanting to. I still watch like a lot of like niche RPG Maker horror content on YouTube, like find out about new ones, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta check this out. It's hard to keep track of like all the names of those, but
yeah, right.
Corpse Party has been one that I've been wanting to tackle for a while.
I've heard of that game,
but
yeah, I've heard of it.
There's a lot of them though that I do want to get around to, like Paret M. Haru. That's one that is supposed to be a really, really twisted and dark one that is pretty interesting. So,
sweet.
But,
yeah, I'd like to jump into that world of RPG Maker games, because you speak so highly about those style of games.
I grew up on a lot of those RPG Maker horror games. I absolutely adore those games. A lot of them, like Off and Yume Nikki and Hanged Man. There's like a million of them I could name off that I just absolutely adore.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, one of these days either you need to talk about like your favorites, or I need to just jump into them.
Yeah,
Most
of them are pretty quick to get through too. Like, you can get through Yuminiki really quick, especially with a guide. Like, definitely explore that game yourself for a while, and then if you get stuck, then just pull out a guide. But it's fun. It's a real fun game to just explore.
Gotcha. Another game I want to play with a guide is, it's on the Switch. It's on NSO. I want to play the original Earthbound, the original Mother. Earthbound Beginnings.
Yeah. I like that game better than Earthbound.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you beat that?
I got really close to beating that. I got a lot further in that than I did in Earthbound. I played that that Wii U version of that because that was a big deal when that Wii U version released.
Right.
Because it was the first time. Or was it on the 3DS? It was either on the Wii U or 3DS, but it was the first time that they ever translated it to English. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, this is a big deal. I better check this out. And I actually really liked it compared to like Earthbound. There's just something about like that clunky NES combat that I liked better than the SNES systems. So
really, it's the whole Mother franchise in general I want to play because the Mother 3 is a really good game.
3's supposed to be like the best one from what I understand. So
yeah, I sunk a couple hours into that. I was like, this is really good, but I feel like I need to play the first two to kind of. I always feel like I want to earn my way through a franchise. Maybe that's dumb.
that is dumb. I'll tell you, that's dumb.
But I like the history lesson. That's really me.
I like to play the latest and then like go back. Like that's what I did with Armored Core, right? I played the latest one and I'm like, okay, this is cool. I want to check out what they were doing on the PlayStation 1. I'm like, oh yeah, I like this too. That's what I'm doing with Drakengard, and the Nier series as well in general. Like I played that almost backwards, right? Like I played Automata, then Replicant, then 3, and now I'm gonna be playing Drakengard 1. So
right, and I just like starting at the beginning of a series if it's good. I mean, there's some exceptions to this rule. Like for instance, I played Skyrim first. I didn't play freaking the first Elder Scrolls. Like I'm not playing like Battlespire or whatever, like the old ones. Most of the time I'm playing the new stuff. I am, but if it's like a franchise I like already, and I just kind of want to go like, okay, I want to start at the beginning of this. Like for instance, I love the Persona games. I started Persona 1 and I'm like almost done with it. I like the history lesson. I want to be able to speak to it at kind of like a wide historical lens, and yeah, the Mother series is something I want to get into because to finish all 3 of them, it's not that long. And for people that are listening, Lucas from Smash Brothers is from Mother 3, for instance. I know. So, do you think they ever localize that here? I'm sure they will at some point.
No, they don't localize Mother 3. They never localize Mother 3. That doesn't happen.
I know it's like a big thing that they want to do it, but they'll probably do it one day.
No, they don't do it. Sorry. No, they don't do it.
There's enough people that want that to happen. I mean,
there's 5 people on Twitter that want it.
I want it.
Yeah, you're one of them.
I'm playing a fan translation when I play it. So.
It's such a niche game. Like, I don't think the resources are even going to be worth it to Nintendo to localize that thing.
I mean, they're bringing forward freaking Famicom Detective Club. I mean, why wouldn't they bring Mother 3?
Because
like, you know what I mean? Like
Detective Club is pretty cool, and I want to check that out at some point.
Well, what I'm saying is like they're not too good to do niche.
Okay, but you know what is a crime, right? And I've been meaning to have this soapbox for a while. An absolute crime.
I'm scared now.
Konami, those cowards, right? They're remastering Tokimeki Memorial on Switch and not releasing it anywhere outside Japan. They're not localizing it.
Oh,
I'm so pissed.
I hear that game is like beloved.
That is the dating sim of dating sims. That is like the simmiest simmy of datings that is ever to sim. And I want to play it so bad, but they will never localize that game.
I need to give you a video to watch. It is Tokimeki Memorial by Tim Rogers, and it's an unbelievable video. You need to watch this video.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of stuff on Tokimeki Memorial. I really want to play through this game, but that'd be a good one for this list as well. But this guy
This guy 4 years ago, Tim Rogers, he does Action Button. He's an amazing guy. He's from he used to do stuff for Kotaku. Now he does stuff for Insert Credit. He reviewed Tokyo Mecha Memorial in a 6-hour review, and it's fantastic. You need to look at this video. But yeah, I did not know they were remastering that. That's a big deal.
They are.
It's a big deal.
But it's not coming here. So I'm really upset about it. Konami, why would you do this? Like, come on, guys.
So are they translating it, or are they just not? Okay.
They're not translating it. They're not releasing it anywhere else. It's just staying in Japanese. That's how they want it.
Sucks. That sucks. Oh my gosh, man. Well, I don't think you're gonna count Tokyo Mecha Memorial. So what's your next one? I guess.
Yeah, because I just don't have a good way to play that really, without just using like a fan translation, and it just doesn't. That's not really how I'd like to experience that game.
Yeah, you'd like it to be the best way possible.
Yeah, I've definitely been wanting to try out the Tales of series. Particularly
Tales of
Saria has like a really interesting looking cast. I think that I'd probably like that one. I don't know if that game's any good or not, but the cast always stood out to me as like an interesting looking cast. So
you said Berseria, sorry?
Yeah. Yep.
Berseria, yeah. Yeah, there's the one I played the most of was Zestiria.
Yeah, that cast looked a bit generic to me.
Yeah, it was an interesting start. I put a couple hours into that a couple years ago. I want to play Tales of Symphonia and Vesperia. I hear those ones are really good.
Yeah, Symphonia is the GameCube one. I actually put a lot of hours into that one on GameCube, and I didn't like it at all. It was too...
Really? Wow.
Very kiddish, yeah. All the characters were like young kids, and I was like a college age individual when I was like playing through that. I'm like, this is a kiddie game. I don't. Maybe if I played this when I was younger, I'd have nostalgia for it, but it just isn't for me.
I hear Tales of Arise is really good. People like that one.
Yeah, people like that one quite a bit.
People like that one and Vesperia the most. Vesperia is the best one. And they just put out Tales of Graces F recently on new consoles. So if you want to play old 3DS game, you can play that on new stuff. But,
sure.
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah, the Tales of game, to kind of jump off of what you said. Berseria I hear is a pretty good one of those. Tales of Fantasia is the one I want to play. That's the first one. It came out on Game Boy Advance. It also came out on it came out on SNES, I want to say, but they ported it to Game Boy Advance.
They ported it to PlayStation 1 as well, but I don't know if it got localized.
Okay, maybe it's PlayStation 1. I'm sorry, not SNES. Yeah. But they whatever they did, they ported to GBA. Yeah. I'm really talking out of my ass there. But the GBA version is the one I'd probably play. Even though the sound chip's not great, the game still looks okay. So
sure.
If I was going to play the next one, it'd be Tales of Fantasia. But yeah, since you said Tales of, I ping pong. So what's another one?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, what's one that I haven't talked about a whole lot on here? Because I talk about a lot of weird games on here.
That's okay. I like all the off the wall stuff.
yeah. I just sometimes I have to like pull from like deep in like the recesses of like my stuff that I'm interested in checking out. So one that I've been wanting to play is I watched a YouTube video on it a while ago. Kowloon High School Chronicle. It's supposed to be like this like very Egyptian-esque like a dungeon crawling sort of game. And it like had a really cool like 90s sort of anime vibe to it that seemed pretty cool, so I've actually got that on. It was like a PlayStation 1 game, I think, but it's on Steam now, so I want to check this out. So,
yeah, awesome. You said Kowloon what?
Kowloon High School Chronicle.
So is it a visual novel?
No, it's a dungeon crawler. First person
Dungeon crawler. Okay, I missed that.
Yep.
I missed that part. Sorry. Yeah, if it's not a visual novel, you like first person dungeon crawlers too. So
I do.
you would like the original Persona then. That's basically what that is.
Yeah, I've played a lot of the original Persona. It was like that weird Revelations version. So
yeah, you don't want to play that one. The PSP one's the way to go if you're going to play that one.
Yeah, it's...
when they remake it, it'll be a lot better, I think.
Yeah.
There's already filings for them doing that, so that'll be exciting. Yeah, the next one for me, unless you had anything else to expound upon.
No.
Okay. Yeah, the next one for me is Valkyria Chronicles. I've been trying to play this game off and on. I hear this game is amazing. I have Valkyria Chronicles 1. I have 2 and 3 fan translated.
Yeah.
2 came out here, but 3 did not. 3 had not been released outside of Japan. So I would want to play those first before playing 4 and Valkyria Revolution.
1 and
4 is the newest one.
Yeah, 1 and 4 are on modern systems. I know that much because they just put out a remaster of 1 not too long ago.
Yep. And Valkyria Revolution is there.
I almost bought that limited edition for that 1 remaster because I had like a full like scale model of like the tank, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the Galleon tank, whatever that name of that tank is.
Right. Yeah. Like the tank from that game. I know exactly what you're talking about. And I've had it downloaded on my PlayStation 5 forever. I'm literally looking at the title for
so
it.
That's
I just want to get to it.
That's also kind of like a white whale game for me because I have quite a history with trying to play that game. Because when that game like first came out on like Steam, I had like a really like crappy sort of laptop, and it was like not really able to run that game like at all, and so I was basically trying to get it to run, and it wouldn't. So I'm like, okay, I gotta put this game down. But then I've since then come back to it a couple of times, and I got through a good majority of it when I think I was playing it on I guess maybe it was playing it on PC. I was either playing it on PC or Switch, but I think that remastered just came out on Switch, so it couldn't have been on Switch. So it must have been on PC that I was playing it on. But I got through most of it, like the majority of it, and I remember enjoying it. But I had to drop it for one reason or another. I was still in like college when I was playing through this, but I enjoyed my time with it, and I would like to go back and do a complete run through of it at some point. It's a fun sort of third person shooter RPG tactical RPG hybrid. So
yeah, I like the mix of the two. It's really cool.
Yeah, I like the setting of it as well a lot. So
for
the
sure.
World War II-esque setting.
Yep. What about for you?
Yeah, you had me caught up in that one, so
you're fine. I could go again if you think that's totally fine.
No. Let's see. Let's throw in a GBA game. So there's been one that I'm trying to. I've been on and off, like anytime I'm playing my GBA, trying to get through. Because I really like the combat of it, the pacing of it, like the story of it, and it's Summon Night Swordcraft story for the game.
This is also in my backlog as well.
Yeah. I've played that game, quite a bit of that game, and I've enjoyed my time with it. It I always end up with a different companion every time too somehow, because like I guess somehow I end up like there's like a quiz that you do to get your like companion character, and usually I end up with like a different one. But yeah, it's a lot of it's a lot of fun. It's just like a simple sort of like side scrolling. If I remember, it's like 1v1 sort of like sword fights, and you can like your goal is to defeat your opponent, but you can also try and break their weapon, and if you do, then you can actually craft their weapon yourself. And so it's pretty fun. I quite like it. So
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, I want to play that and its sequel. And there's also another one I think on DS. There's definitely two games.
Yeah, the whole like Summon Night's like a whole franchise. This is like a spin-off of that Summon Night franchise.
Oh, is it?
And I don't really know anything about that actual Summon Night franchise. I just know about the Swordcraft story spin-offs because those are the ones that were interesting to me. But
Gotcha.
I don't know if they're all dating sims. I know that Swordcraft story is like a dating sim light, to where you have like little like romantic partner interests, whatever, that you can quote unquote romance, but it's really like a nothing burger thing. It kind of reminds me of like one of my I'll save that one for the next one. How about that? If I have to do another.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. You're good. Yeah, if that's the case, then my next one is, well, honestly, the next two are definitely PS1, but I'll start with the first one. Xenogears. I love the Xeno series. I like Xeno Saga. I like Xeno Blade.
Yeah, I need to try that.
Xenogears is the one I need to play. Yeah. I have it on my PS. Yeah. I have Xenogears on my PS3 with the backwards compatible stuff. Just that ROM basically on PS3. And yeah, that game is like really crazy. Like the story is nuts, and it gets into all kinds of stuff.
Half is good from what I understand, and the second half is just like a bunch of like.
Well, they ran out of budget. That's what happened. I mean, they were making that game, and they wanted to do so much more with it, and then like literally the next half of the game is mostly cutscenes.
Yeah.
Which, you know, like the ending of the game is not awful, but it ends up kind of telling you about a story instead of you doing it, which is kind of disappointing. I would like to see what a full Xenogears would look like if it were remade. But yeah, that's next on my list. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So I guess you're stepping into my territory with the PS1 pick. I don't like that.
Okay.
My next pick is going to be Thousand Arms for the PS1. That's one that I've
Thousand Arms.
Yeah, it's like a weird like sort of dating sim, like RPG mix thing. You like raise your affection with different girls to like boost different weapons or something like that. Like you become a better blacksmith by like dating like some amount of women or something like that. Very weird Atlas RPG.
Oh, is it Atlas? Okay.
Yep. And yeah, I've actually I've burned it onto like a blank CD-ROM, so that I can play it on my I've got like a modded memory card that I can use to play burned discs on my PS1. So because that game goes for like exorbitant prices. So
right, I bet it's crazy.
So at some point I want to play through that game.
Sick. Yeah, staying on that PlayStation 1 tip. This is a very, very late PlayStation 1 game. I think it's like 2000 or 2001. Vagrant Story. I've always wanted to play Vagrant Story. I hear it's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of people like
Another
that one.
Square Enix RPG. Yeah.
It's
That it's not the longest thing in the world, but I hear it's.
mhm.
I've heard nothing but good things about it.
It's definitely incredibly graphically impressive for the PlayStation
It
1.
is.
Um,
Yeah. It's very technologically advanced. I agree.
yeah, it looks too much like that Iblis sort of Final
Oh,
Fantasy
come
world that
on.
I hate.
You're
So
My goodness.
yeah,
Put
not
away
too
your
interested in
sword.
that one.
I love the art style of that.
Uh,
So good looking.
not for me.
How dare you?
Uh,
Anyway, give me your opinion on another game because that's a bad opinion.
eh, eh. Um, yeah, you've got me really digging deep now.
Yeah, we'll do a couple more and we'll probably just finish it off. I have a couple more I wanted to talk about.
Sure.
But other than that, yeah.
So on yeah, there I mean on I guess man, I'm trying to dig into like
Yeah, you're good.
consoles that I don't
I'm putting you on the spot. I'm putting you on the spot.
yeah,
You're
I'm trying to dig into consoles that I don't think about a whole lot.
the Vita.
Right. Yeah, there's not
Yeah.
a whole lot of exclusives for the Vita. Unfortunately.
Soul Sacrifice Delta. There you go. There's one.
Yeah. I guess I want to check out that Ender Lilies game at some
Yeah.
point. Yeah, that's been
Which one? The first one or the second one?
first one. I want to play through that first one before I get around to that
Yeah,
second
Quietus of the
Yeah.
Nights, and the second one's called Bloom in the Mist. I talked
one.
about
Well,
the
there's
second
Ender
one. on the pod a
Lilies
little bit.
and Ender Magnolia. The one you played was Ender Magnolia.
Yes. It is a sequel though, spiritual
Yep,
successor.
yep.
So, yeah, that game was really cool. I need to get back to that.
Yep.
That was a really cool one. Yeah, I have yet to play the first one, but it is downloaded on my PlayStation, ready for me to play it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll give a couple more, and then we'll probably move on to what we've been watching and stuff. The first one I want to talk about is, and I'll just say them back to back, and then you can kind of give me whatever else you want.
Sure.
Star Ocean First Departure R. I've always wanted to get into Star Ocean games. All of them are on PlayStation. That's where I play most of my stuff for now. And the first one has been remastered and put back out.
Yeah, I've got that one.
They
on
also
Switch.
did that. Yeah, they did that 2D HD one where it's Second Departure R, and that's the second one of Star
Yeah.
Ocean games. And they also have a couple ones from the 360 era, one for the PS4, and then another one for the PS5 era. So there's 5 Star Ocean games. They're all out for the newer versions of consoles. And yeah, I want to start
People
with
like
the very
those
beginning.
first two ones, I think, quite a bit. So
People like especially the second one,
yeah,
second story. People really like that one.
yeah, I
And
owned
it's
that
a
one on
2D
PS1.
Yeah, the 2D HD, I people love that style. And then the last one I want to bring up, that kind of like for my immediate backlog, is I want to play Contact, this DS Atlas game where you use the stylus to kind of interact with the world. It's really cool. You should look it up. I've played about 4 or 5 hours of this thing so far. It's not very long. I'm pretty much almost done with it, but it's really cool. You're doing a lot of like fourth wall breaking with these characters on screen, and you're like touching and dragging them and stuff. It's really cool. Yeah, Contact is really cool. But yeah, that's kind of my little backlog list I want to kind of get to in between big stuff. Any other games to kind of round it up, 1 or 2 that you have in mind?
Yeah, I mean, the I've kind of poked at a couple of the Atelier games on like the PSP.
Oh, sure.
And
Sure.
So I kind of wanted to like find one of those games that is interesting, one of those older titles before like Ryza, kind of like streamline things.
Yeah.
I like that sort of like a semi like shop management sort of game, similar to like a Reciteer that I've talked about on the podcast before, I believe. So
Yeah, Yeah, the Atelier games. They're like a low stakes like crafting RPG for the most part.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, very like almost Harvest Moony in that sense.
Very.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm a
100%.
pretty big fan of the Harvest Moon stuff as well. So yeah, and then I guess just like getting through like the Resident Evil series. Like I haven't played like any of those games except for 7. So
7's a great game.
yeah,
I love that game.
but I need to get through all of them at some point because people like 1 a lot, people like 4 a lot. So
People like the ones that people like the most are 2, 4, and 1.
yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, I have played
Do
through
people
all of
like
them
those
except
remakes
for...
better than the original?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, at least for 2 they do. I think
Yeah.
3 people don't like as much as, well, it's tough to know. 3 is not like well regarded at all, really. But the remake does a better job at a lot of it. But it's also really short. It's like 6 hours to finish that game.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like an action thriller sort of thing.
Yeah.
But 2 is kind of a long game. 2 is like one of the best horror games ever made. It's an unbelievable remake. It blows the first one out of the water, and people love that original version of 2.
Was 2 on the PS1 or the 64 or both?
It was on both. It was on
It
both.
was on both. Was it the same game?
It was on both. I believe so. Yeah,
Huh.
I'm pretty
Wow.
sure it was the same game. Yeah. The ones I played for Resident Evil, I played a fair amount of 1, the GameCube one. I like it okay. I don't love it. There's the whole ink ribbon thing on harder difficulties that I'm not a huge fan of. I don't know. It's just, it feels like I need to just really sit down and just tackle it at some point.
I've heard that
I've heard really good things.
4, that Wii version is the best one to play.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. But I only played the PlayStation 4 port of the original, and that's a really good version to play too. The thing about that game is like when you shoot, you stop, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
That's how Resident Evil 5 is as well. But Resident Evil 2, that remake, they allowed you to move as you shoot, which was kind of a big deal for the series. But the ones I played through all the way are 2, 3, 4, 5. I played a little bit of 6, didn't love it. All of 7, love 7, and 8 is super good. I love Resident Evil Village. It's one of the best ones. It reminds me of Resident Evil 4 especially, which makes it awesome. It also has amazing.
Lady.
She's honestly like not for a spoiler. She's not in it that much. She's in like a couple hours of it.
That's because she like swallows you and eats you.
It's exactly what happens. You should play that game and you'll see it for yourself. I know you're excited.
I want to see that,
but it's a great that game is awesome. It's the house you go into, like the haunted house level, one of the best levels in any horror game. It's an unbelievable set piece.
Yeah, I just remember
highly recommend Village.
7, like the main game of that had some crazy like moments to it for sure.
It's really good.
I played through all that DLC on that, and the DLC wasn't really anything to write home about. But
I didn't do the End of Zoe stuff. I did the like the Chris Redfield campaign.
Yeah, I had the complete version of that.
Awesome.
So I just played through that content. I'm like, yeah, it's fine, I guess.
Yeah, that base campaign's really good.
Yeah.
I love that campaign.
It's pretty short.
If you like that,
but
if you like that, you'll love Village. Village is even better,
Yeah.
I think. Village is a great game. That's just a little bit of a backlog list for us. I think I will play Phantasy Star next after my time with Persona ends. I'm kind of ready to put that thing down.
I'm
almost finished with it.
Yeah, I've also been tempted to get the original Monster Hunter for my PlayStation 2 and play through that.
Ooh, nice.
Because there's not like any like really exclusive monsters in that one, but I just kind of want to try it out because I hear it's very simmy compared to like any of the other entries, so I'm pretty immersive in that way. So
That's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's a nice bag of old games for the most part. I play more old stuff than new stuff these days. It's a lot of fun diving into the old treasure chests. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah. To kind of round out the games, it's something I'm going to circle back to. I didn't even talk about Star Wars Outlaws now that I think about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it'll be pretty quick. I really like that game. I didn't love it or anything. Um, Star Wars games have been really good lately, like really really good. I think the Jedi Survivor and the Fallen Order games are really awesome. They're putting out another game. It's like a turn-based Clone Wars era Star Wars game by Bit Reactor. It's very much like Star Wars XCOM, which is really cool. That's coming out next year, and they're working on Jedi Survivor the third Jedi game from Respawn. Actually, in the news today, Respawn was hit with kind of a lot of layoffs, and EA as a whole was hit with layoffs. So we'll see how that affects the Jedi game. Probably not that much because that makes them a lot of money. But anyway, Star Wars Outlaws got really slept on. I will say, like really slept on. I think people missed out on this game, and there's like a lot of negativity about it because I think it's because it's Ubisoft made it. Ubisoft massive. The story was really good. I like the main character a lot. K-Vess is super cool. There's interesting systems in this game that revolve around reputation with different like crime syndicates, which is really cool. So you have to kind of like balance them and gain rep with them by doing jobs. It's a really interesting game. The campaign was awesome. It was really fun. It's kind of like open world hubs. Yeah, if you're looking for a really good time just to play through a game that's 10 hours, 11 hours, play that game. I think it's one of the better Star Wars games of the last few years.
What is this game like? What do you do in this game? What's the game loop?
It's a third-person shooter.
Okay.
With this using the Star Wars license, it's like you're basically like Han Solo. Like you're a rascal. You're a rogue. Trying to do deals and work with crime syndicates. It feels like the movie Solo. If you saw that, it feels like that. If you see that movie, you're going to get exactly what this game is going for.
What game does this play the most like?
It reminds me. It's kind of like a Gears of War sort of thing where you're just like shooting behind cover and you're doing active reload, and it's it might not be for you, but I really enjoyed it.
Cover shooters are not my thing. I've never played a cover shooter in my life.
It's like a stealth game for the most part, but when shit hits the fan, it becomes a cover shooter a little bit. I will say a lot of the missions kind of funnel you to do your objective, and then you have to shoot your way out of almost every mission. It's really fun. I really enjoyed that. The combat's super tight. It's just I wanted to talk about it real quick. I beat it like in 2-3 days, just kind of 3 or 4 hour sessions. It's super solid. People need to play that game if you're looking for a kind of like a middle-sized open world game. It's gonna get your fix, and it's also got one of the best like vehicles in any open world game. Like you have the speeder, and it can like float on water. It's so sick. It's so awesome.
Fun.
I really really love that game. Enjoyed it. I didn't love it. I had some major progression bugs with this game, which really annoyed me. I was 3 or 4 hours in on an unpatched save apparently, and there was a glitch that like if you reach this level and you have done too many side quests or done things out of order, then it affects the main mission and you can't progress further in the game. So I had to start a brand new save on the new patch and then play through old content, which is really annoying, and it doesn't happen very often. And there's some slight bugs here and there, like progression bugs where like this door won't open when I wanted to, that sort of thing. Minor stuff. The game on the whole is awesome, and the story is actually pretty good. So play Star Wars Outlaws if you see it on sale. It's definitely worth your time. So yeah, that's all it for games for me. And let's talk about a couple things that we've been watching, and we'll kind of wrap it up there. You're talking about To Be a Hero. What's all that about?
Yeah, so I watched this. There's been a lot of buzz for like this anime season. There's like a new there's a show called To Be Hero X that's airing this season basically, and I was looking into it. I'm like, oh, there's like 2 other shows related to this. I should probably watch those first. I don't know if they have anything to do with this, but sure. So I watched that original To Be Hero. It's just like maybe like 12-11 minute episodes, so I just watched it in like an evening, and I really enjoyed it. It was like pretty it was pretty funny, and had a pretty touching ending with it was all revolved around like a father trying to like overwork himself for his daughter, and so it's pretty touching stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was
and then you've also been watching what was it? Gundam Wing? That's what
Gundam
that's also what
Wing.
you've been watching,
Yeah,
right?
I just watched like the first episode of that with some friends, and that was pretty good. They want to watch through the whole thing because they have a collab with Overwatch too. So
Okay.
yeah,
Interesting.
so they wanted to watch that. It's pretty funny. It's a fine Gundam series so far. It had some really weird stuff in the first episode, but nothing like that was like, it didn't suck me in right away like Turn A Gundam did. Oh
Right.
my gosh, Turn A Gundam! It's just, please watch Turn A Gundam.
It's on the list. We'll probably get to it at some point.
So amazing, so amazing. Oh my gosh, just like those first few episodes are like am I did I put in the right show? Am I watching Gundam? Are we sure this is Gundam? Because like they have like pagan rituals going on in a Gundam
Oh wow,
show.
crazy.
Yeah,
That's insane.
wild. It's wild.
Yeah, it's on the list. We'll probably get to it.
Yeah.
We're gonna pick away at that thing. We built the list after all.
Yeah, but yeah, I really haven't been watching too much besides that. I need to get back to my rewatch of Samurai Champloo at some point. I got about halfway through that.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. I am on the Champloo train now. I am watching more consistently. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yep, I need to get back to that because I adore that show. I just haven't had a lot of I was typically watching that in like evenings, and I just haven't had a lot of free time in my evenings lately.
Yeah.
I've been doing other stuff.
This is what I think we should do. It's just like when we both finish the show, let's just let each other know.
Yeah.
And we'll just watch movies in the middle because they're short. You know,
movies are
and
easy to just.
whenever
pop
we're done
in.
with whenever we're done with Champloo, we'll record something either talking about like half and half, or we just talk about our thoughts on the show as a whole.
Sure.
And just break down individualities of it. We'll figure it out for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else beside those two?
Nothing that I can think of really.
Gotcha. Cool. Perfect. Yeah. Like you said, Champloo for me as well. Kind of picking away at that. Yeah, it's really good. I really like Champloo. I finished Skypiea in One Piece. I didn't like it as much as Alabasta, I will say. That arc is not as good. I don't like the villain as much. NL's not like the most well fleshed out villain compared to like a Crocodile. I really love Crocodile in Alabasta. Such a good villain. He's got one of the best laughs in One Piece as well. But yeah, I finished that. There's some filler in the middle there, including canon filler, which is really weird. But I just skipped that because I'm not gonna watch canon filler. It's dumb. So I'm going to the next arc, and they start with meeting the first admiral, Aokiji. He's got this these ice powers. The admirals are like in One Piece. They're like the big bads, basically. They're like the military complex with the Navy, military industrial complex, and they're really dangerous people. So yeah, it starts the arc Water 7, which is Robin's arc, Nico Robin's arc. So excited to kind of pick away at that amidst Champloo and stuff. I also picked up Star Wars Rebels again, and I finished the first season. I'm watching it along with the podcast. It's not as good as Clone Wars, I have to say, but it's got its moments for sure. It's one of these kids shows. I feel like it comes into its own a little bit further down the line. The first season was just okay. It wasn't amazing. I wanted to talk quickly about this. My wife and I are finishing Mad Men. We're like almost done with season 7, which is the final season. We're like halfway through that. We were watching the end of season 6 the other day on Amazon Prime, and you can buy like channels. Like, hey, I want to subscribe within this app to watch the show. Like, for instance, we had AMC Plus through Amazon Prime just to watch Mad Men. That's all we're using it for. We got done with season 6, and all of the seasons disappeared except for the first one. I don't know why. There's no explanation. Nothing. I am baffled. We were like ready to jump into season 7. I was like, let's watch it. I go to it. We had just finished season 6, and it was wiped. There's nothing left but season 1. I was like, we just watched season 6. It's never happened to me on a streaming service before. It was insane. It was insane. I don't even know what happened. I don't even know if it's fixed or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like easy to get to. So what I did is I just switched to YouTube and did the channel through there. Used the free trial. We're gonna blow through that before I get charged. So Mad Men's great. We're almost finished with that. And then the final thing I wanted to talk about is I've kind of been in a Star Wars mood recently with like Rebels, and I also watched an episode of the last season of Clone Wars because I'm almost done with that too. I went and saw Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith in the theater last Saturday. I never was allowed to watch it as a kid in the theater. I remember vividly seeing a newspaper with Grievous's face in it, and my mom talking about the immolation scene where he burns to death, and they discouraged me from watching it. And I was a huge Star Wars fan. Was like when I was a kid. I remember crying myself to sleep after I heard the news because they promised me for a long time they were going to take me to the theater, and then they read probably a plugged-in review on it, and they're like, "You can't do this," you know.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was kind of a nice full circle moment going to see it, you know.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to watch it as a kid either when it came out, but my mom had like the book version of it, so she like read me the book version of it, so I kind of got it from there as a kid. But then obviously when I was older, I just watched that movie, and I was like,
that book adaptation is excellent, by the way. Yeah. It's really well written. I wish the guy that wrote that book
lying around. I didn't ask her if she still has that lying around.
Oh, if she did, I would love to borrow it. That's an amazing book. I read that book religiously when I was a kid too. Star Wars 3 is like one of the more impactful movies of my adolescence. Like me and my friend group, including you, like we were all about Star Wars growing up, and the hype cycle for 3 was insane. So much merchandise, so many video games. Yep. I was playing the episode 3 video game today. Really good, solid beat 'em up.
Yeah, I had a episode 2 or
was
3
awesome.
game on Game Boy Advance. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it was episode 3.
It was probably 3. Yeah, it was 3 because that's a really good beat 'em up.
Yeah.
I think it's by WayForward, I want to say.
Sounds right.
But a lot of Star Wars 3 media and hype revolved around that, and I remembered it. I have a lot of nostalgia for that era.
Did we ever talk about those Timothy Zahn books on the podcast? With like Admiral Thrawn?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I want to read those at some point.
Oh, you haven't read those? Okay, I own all of those. No. I got them at my my local library was like getting rid of them, and so I got those like forever ago, and so they've probably thrown it out for like the Disney stuff. I don't know, but because that stuff isn't like canon anymore. I guess I don't really know how the Disney.
It's erasure is what it is. It's EU erasure.
Yeah. It was canon at the time though that it was written.
Well,
I understand. So.
They're starting to bring back Thrawn in the new stuff too. So like they're drawing from that. They're just picking and choosing, which I think is dumb. But anyway, it was a nice full circle moment seeing that movie in the theater. It was kind of emotional for me. I was like, I dreamed about watching this in the theater as a kid, and I even shed a few tears a couple times because that movie's it still hits me. You know, it's an awesome movie still. Yeah. Definitely my favorite prequel. But and just to kind of finalize what we've been doing lately, we've been watching the prequels. Me and my wife. She's never seen them, which is kind of hard to believe with her being married to me. But yeah, we're finally getting through them. We watched 1 and 2 the other night. She really liked those.
Yeah.
And we're gonna watch 3 probably tomorrow for the first time. I'm excited to see what she thinks because it's like Goblet of Fire and Harry Potter, where the entire franchise spins on the axis of that movie.
My gosh.
And I love it.
What a good movie!
It's so amazing. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's all I mean,
well, 1 is like what the whole like Phantom Menace has what the whole franchise is all based around. Because Jar Jar Binks is the key to everything. Remember that, folks.
He is.
Yeah.
And he also granted executive powers to Chancellor Palpatine in episode 2 because he's a really smart delegate.
Yes.
Not an idiot at all.
Nope. It's all.
It's so funny. Like, yeah,
It's all a ploy.
It's so funny, that scene specifically in 2, we just watched it, where like they're all talking in a room and everyone's like, "Oh boy, I wish someone could grant the Emperor emergency powers or Chancellor emergency powers. Oh, too bad the delegate from Naboo's not here because Padme's off because she's got Anakin as her bodyguard."
Yep.
And they have Jar Jar Binks obviously in earshot, and Jar Jar's like, maybe I could, it's so
Misa,
silly.
help
Like they don't even try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, Jar
They're
Jar
also
Binks.
putting Darth Jar Jar in that Fortnite battle pass,
Yeah.
which is really funny.
He's an important character to the Star Wars universe. He's a lot more important than Rey, at least.
Yeah, he's not a Mary Sue, at
Yeah.
least. But yeah, that's the bulk of stuff we're watching. So, yeah, that's all I got. What about you?
Yeah, it's about all I've got. Just be on the lookout for Jar Jar Binks in your local theaters. He's
Be careful if he's in the if you see him on C-SPAN, please kick him out. He's going to introduce some horrible bill that'll probably pass accidentally. Something
Misa introduced
like
this.
Bombad tariffs is what he's looking to pass.
Misa,
Don't let him represent you.
Misa want only production on Naboo.
I'd like to seize the means of production, please. Yeah. Oh my God, he's the key to all of our financial hardships.
I think so. Yeah, let's just blame Jar Jar Binks.
We will. Yeah, that's a podcast. I think we're gonna. The next thing we're watching for Tape Stuck is Redline. We're probably gonna get to that in the next few days, and we're gonna talk about it next week. So jazzed for you to watch that movie. The history of that movie is insane. It almost bankrupted Madhouse. We'll talk about it. It's awesome. It's a beautiful movie. I'm going to review. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm going to review Star Wars Outlaws in the near future. You're going to review Doll's Nest, probably, both its Final Destinations. And then a couple other future projects for me. I haven't done a crash course in a hot minute. I feel like we need to have a topical thing going up at some point.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get into that. Just stay tuned there. I want to add one of those.
I need to do
and then the big thing yeah, for sure. It'll be we just need to do one at some point. And then the big project I want to do after Doom: The Dark Ages comes out is the Doom franchise retrospective. I don't know quite how this is going to manifest, if it's reviews or if it's a crash course. I don't know. I want to talk about all the Doom games and what I like and don't like about them. So
when are we going to do our big Souls retrospective? Well, I guess you got to play through Dark Souls 2 first, because you don't know peak when it smacks you in the face.
I think you're probably right. I think I just need to play through that and see if I actually.
It's a good game. It's a good game.
Like it.
Use those life gems.
Don't
heal with Estus. Don't heal with Estus. Just.
I might watch a playthrough. Honestly,
no,
though. I don't know if we'll play it.
It's a good game. That game. Don't play Scholar. Just play base version if you can.
See, I don't own base, and I don't really want to buy it either. So
the base is a totally different game. Like it's a much better game to play for your first playthrough than Scholar.
I hear people prefer Scholar though. That's what I hear.
No, that's not true. No.
Okay.
Scholar
Maybe
is.
I'm listening to the wrong people.
Scholar is like Master Quest for that game. Like if I was to set you up playing Ocarina of Time Master Quest as your first Zelda game, and be like, yeah, play this. This is Ocarina of Time. This is what Ocarina of Time is like. And you have to shoot the cow in like the freaking Jabu Jabu's belly because like they have it like weird like that. Yeah, that's Scholar in a nutshell.
Okay, well, if
Scholar wants to kill you, whereas Dark Souls 2 just wants you to get through the levels. That's basically how that is.
Okay. I used to own it on 360, and I think I just gave it away. I didn't like that game, but yeah, I'll get to it at some point. Hopefully. I would love to talk about at length all those games, so maybe we do that this summer. But yeah, we're in the shadow of Switch 2. We're almost there, about a month away. Lots of good games coming out. By the time this next podcast comes around, like I mentioned, I'll have played at least some of Doom: The Dark Ages, so stick around for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Noah, I've been Power. This has been Stick Drift. Keep on gaming. We love you.